T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now tapped into the coolest reptile podcast in the world. Welcome to the Trap Talk Podcast Presents New Breed on the Block series. I'm your boy MJ. What is good, everybody? If this is your first time tapping in, do your boy a favor. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Drop a comment, man. Let me know what you're liking best at all these series that I drop here, man. But more important, if you hit that notification bell, you're going to be on top of all the podcasts. Everything I drop on this channel, you'll be on top of it, because you'll be notified. So, yeah, man, guys, I'm just shy of 106. I'm just under 6. I'm sorry. What the fuck am I trying to say? I'm trying to hit 6,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I'm just under 100 away from that, man. So if you've been watching this channel for a while and you're just wondering, what to subscribe, it's free. That button right there, that's black and, with white, right there, hit that button. It's free. It helps me a lot. You are subscribed to this channel, I salute you. Thank you so much for your ongoing support, man. Mad love. I shout out to all the early birds in the comments. I'll get to you guys in just a second. But yeah, man, we get started here. This tonight's episode is brought to you by, who am I going to go with? Mark Bailey Reptiles, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Please head over to Morph Market. Check out Mark Bailey Morph Market account, see what he has available. He's going to have a lot of heat available. I'll tell you, 2023 is going to be a bigger year from than what he even had this year. And I'm telling you, Mark Bailey produces some high quality ball pythons. If you did not see the vlog I just had with the Mark Bailey package I got earlier this year, not even earlier, like 2 weeks ago. No, about a month ago. Man, probably the most fucking elevated ball python shit I've ever added to my collection. And it's from the big dog himself, Mark Bailey. So please go check out Mark Bailey Reptiles. Hopefully 2023, we get Mark Bailey more active on Instagram. I just got to get this guy just to fucking at least do a post. You know what I mean? We got to see this heat that Mark Bailey has, because he sends me pics of his fucking productions via text message all the time. And I'm like, man, you got to fucking post this shit. So give me some time. I'm going to work with my boy, Mark Bailey, man. If you are looking for exclusive content, if you're looking to be a part of an awesome community, if you're looking to get more out of just keeping reptiles, and if, I don't know, if you feel like you need to tap in with some people, best thing you can do is go down to the very first link you see and join the Trap Talk Patreon family. Once you join the Patreon family, you get a link to the Discord. The Discord tapped in with over 150 fucking reptile keepers who are really about this. I'm not even joking, man. I got some really long-term trap family members, man. I got supporters been supporting me for a while, and I gotta say thank you for all that. Shout out to my Patreon members. I love you guys so much. But yeah, man, we really are all here for each other, and yeah, I gotta say, a lot of the energy and motivation I have building is because of my Patreon members. So thank you so much for your support. I love you guys, and please, like I said, come fuck with us. Come join the Trap Talk Patreon family today. Come join the Discord and see what this is all about. We're all about having fun, man. But yeah, can't wait for Trap Fest 2023. That's going to be a good time. I'm got some awesome stuff lined up, and it's going to be amazing. Stand by for that. Got news coming for Trap Fest 2023 coming next month, so be ready. But guys, also, if you want to see what I have going on other than podcast stuff, head over to my Instagram, please. TrapGod619 on Instagram, and please head over to the podcast's Instagram page as well, the Trap Talk Podcast. If you're on Facebook, do your boy a favor, go like and follow me on Facebook. Okay, appreciate you. The Trap Talk Podcast. Appreciate all the love and support. You guys are awesome. Early Birds, what is cracking? Who's here? Early Birds is jumping right now, man. So let's see who's here. Got my homegirl Lily in the building. What's up, Lily? Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. That's my girl Lily. What's good? Keys Constrictor, Big Keys in the building. What's up, Keys? Thanks for being here, player. Constrictor Connection. What is up, player? Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Appreciate you so much. I got your shirt coming out real soon. Just be ready for that. Julio Fulio, what is up, player? Thanks for tapping in. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. The homie Shane, Ricky, Bobby, SRT in the building. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Team Zoo Dreams. It's my dog, Elite Exotics. What is up, player? Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Big Mike, 1776 Exotics. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. OG Trap Talk Patreon member. That's what I love to see. Deviant Glass, what's up? Woo! I feel you on that. I just had to back you up. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Heartland Reptiles, what's up, Jordan? Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Appreciate it. The homie Brian Heathen Hatchery. Go vote for my mans right here. Snakes in the Fat Man. 15 minutes of lame. This guy needs to win it. That's how I feel right now. I might change my ways of thinking every day. I don't give a fuck, but go vote right now for my boy Brian Ethan Hatchery. It's my dog. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. JKJ Reptiles, what is good, player? Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Chantel, what is up, homegirl? Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Appreciate you so much. Mark Anderson, Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Sunshine State Sulfurs, Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Eric's More Factory, what is up? Nate Dog, Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Central Jersey Exotics, what is good? Jacob Letter Better Fetter, the professor in the building, Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. That's my dog. Thanks so much for tapping in, Jacob. The homie Josh just came by earlier today. What's up, homie? Thanks for helping me out, and I'm looking to work with you here in the near future with what we have going on. I'm not going to give you guys too much details, but it's my boy right here. It's Josh Skelfins and Feathers. Go check him out. Thank you so much for tapping in. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Got the homie Jonathan over at Wilcox Reptile Supply. What's up, player? Thanks for tapping in. Ray, what's up, Ray? Thanks for tapping in. We have Jaffe in the building. Fucking Canadians fan. Canada's finest, bro. One of my favorite Canadians, no cap. Can't wait to leak up with you again someday soon, bro. Jaffe Exotics, guys. Go fuck with my boy Jaffe. Justin Campbell in the building. What's up, Lindsay from Pico Pythons? What's up, Lindsay? Thanks for tapping in. I saw your DM about the live feeding. Dude, do your thing, girl. Shit. I still fuck with you. Don't trip. Father Blue, what's up, player? Thank you so much for my water perch holders. I got to say, I got half them installed. I ain't even gonna lie with you, player. I'm gonna need more. I'm gonna have to hit you up real soon. But guys, go give this guy a follow. He has some really awesome stuff going on that could really benefit your reptiles. Father Blue on Instagram. Go peep out his shit. This fool's not to be slept on. Appreciate you, dog. Talk to you soon. All right. Let's see. Oh, look who it is, my homie Joel. What's up, Joel? Thanks for tapping in. What is going on? There we go. Joel, here he is. It's my dog right here, State 48 Exotics. What a guy. So far, Celebrity Appearance Award right now going to Joel. I'm not going to lie. This is a great feeling. Got the homie Aaron from Bosa Balls in the building. What's up, player? Stonage, Ball Pythons in the building. What is up, player? Thanks for tapping in. Nucleus, Royal Morphs. What is up? Thanks for tapping in. Hetton Tails. What is up? Thanks for tapping in. EH. I'm not even going to know what the hell that stands for, but I appreciate you being here, man. Moon Man. What's up, Moon Man? Are you eating moon? Like chocolate moons? Never mind. What's up? Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Jahoo. What's up, Jahoo? Jahu. That's it. Sick as fuck. I like that name. Serpent Eclipse, the homie Adler coming through with the clutch. It's my dog right here. Go give him a follow. Don't sleep on my man. Add Dizzle for Shizzle. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day, and that's a fact. Thank you so much for your support. Steve Doss. What's up, Steve Doss? Thanks for tapping in, Steve Doss. Earl's Exotics. What's up, Earl's Exotics? Thanks for tapping in. Kinsley. What's up, Kinsley? Thanks for tapping in. And look who it is. We got Rami, the Reptile Super Show. Who's ready for Pomona next month, guys? Pomona's right around the corner. Hope you know that there's a lot of heavy hitters flying in to Pomona. No cap. I'm not joking. Pomona is going to be fucking something that's going to just be so refreshing, not only because we have these big hitters coming from all over the country, but your boy is having his very first vending experience about to go down, and it's going to be at the best show possible. Pomona, Reptile Super Show. Robbie, thanks for taking care of me. I'm gonna fucking kill that shit. So I gotta say, man, if you want to see how your boy MJ gets down when it comes to vending, no offense, I'm gonna fucking smoke all these other vendors out of the water, bro. Ain't nobody ever seen MJ sell before. Well, guess what? Okay, come to my table. Watch how this shit works. It's gonna go down. Rami, thank you so much for what you do. You're the fucking man, one of the leaders of the industry, and that's a fact. Okay, we're gonna end it with Rami just because how player Rami is. Nobody can follow Rami right now. We're ending it with Rami. We're ending in style because it's also 9 minutes deep, and we got to get going, man. My homie Doug Knacker, God bless him. He's coming out of a fucking little funk of illness, but he ain't sweating that shit. He's fucking ready to rock and roll. He's a DJ, dog. He knows what he knows. Listen, first off, DJs don't really sleep, okay? And when there's an event after an event after an event, sometimes you go from event to straight event, no sleep. and you just got to either pop another one or you just keep drinking OJ. You do something to kind of keep the levels high. You know what I mean? So either way, this guy's no rookie. All right. I'm not saying he's on Molly or anything right now. I'm just saying he's all like, he's just sick and he's here for us. So why don't we come through for the homie Doug? Let's get some super chats going. All right. Let's not be shy with the super chats. It could be $1. It could be $100. Some of you motherfuckers ball out and do $200. Do whatever you got to do, man. But let's get going. Let's get ready. Do what you got to do to stay hydrated first and foremost. You know me. I'm on that decoy. Oh, man, it's about to get hot. It's about to get heavy, but it's about to be what it needs to be. And that's that new breeder on the block. Doug Knacker, Hissy Fit Reptiles, coming right at you. Cheers.
Good.
You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk podcasters?
Yes.
Man.
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes.
Exclusive. Oh.
So stop calling us.
Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up
Doug Knacker, Hissy Fit Reptiles in the building. What is up, player?
Not much, man. I got the juice. I'm just missing the gin. You know what I mean?
Oh, man. Thank you for being here, bro. How you feeling? You good right now?
I'm good. Yeah, this juice is gonna keep me my voice going for the rest of the night. You know what I mean? So yeah, we can fucking rock it for a couple hours for sure.
Good, man. Well, listen, thanks for being here tonight. I appreciate you so much. For anyone who doesn't really know what part of the country you're in, where are you located?
I'm in the central Wisconsin area. I live about 10 to 15 minutes away from Garrick DeMeyer.
What a guy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, been my mentor since day one. You know what I mean?
I'm a huge Garrick and I'm a huge Mr. and Mrs. DeMeyer fan. That's all I got to say. I love the duo.
Yep.
But yeah, man, awesome. Now, you know, a lot of people don't really understand what really people's backstory is. It just matters really when you come back in, when you leave. So for people who don't really understand how long you've been kind of dabbling with the breeding side of ball pythons, let's kind of take it from there.
Yeah. So I started in 2009. I was definitely afraid of snakes at one point in time. I'm the opposite spectrum of a lot of people where they were playing with snakes since they were like 4 years old or whatever. I was afraid of them until I was like 27.
Oh, shit.
So I'm 40 right now, right? So in 2009, I held on to my first snake. It was a boa from Petco, and I didn't know there was like a whole world of this shit, you know. So I was scared shitless. My knees were shaking. They got me to hold it. As soon as it started crawling through my fingers, I was like, "This shit is awesome." I'm like, "We're gonna buy this." Impulse bought it. Impulse bought the hell out of it. Good thing I didn't listen to every fucking thing they said because they told me to buy heat rock and all that other shit.
Right.
But no, I just did a ton of research. Like instead of going home and just like neglecting the fact that I should like understand these animals, I went in and I just did a shit ton of research. I was like Googling shit, buying books, freaking watching, I just bought like all the DVDs, from like Tracy Barker and the Sutherlands and all that kind of stuff at that point in time. And then my wife brings me this little phone number. She's like, "This is a local guy in town named Garrick DeMeyer. I guess he's like a snake expert in town." Like, okay, cool. We'll check him out. And at that point, he was doing like a little, it's kind of like an open house. It was kind of like a Garrick DeMeyer only version of Tinley, but just his stuff. And as I started looking at his website, saw some stuff on there, wanted to get into it with the ball pythons because he had a killer clown on there at the time. And I'm like, yeah, I'd like to buy that. That's an awesome looking snake. They didn't have anything at Petco like that,
Right.
And he goes, well, that's about $12,000 right now. And I'm like, holy shit, that's more than my car's worth. So I'm probably not then.
Right.
And then he's like, but he lead into the whole butt thing. He's like, but if you want to buy a few of these animals and these animals a lot cheaper, and you can make that eventually and sell your byproduct to pay for your food and whatever else. I'm like, that sounds like what I'm going to do then. So as I got into it in, like I said, 2009, 2010, using student loans and stuff like that, kind of got into it. However, in like, was it 20? I think it was like 2013. I lost my job. It was like budget cuts and stuff like that. So I was on a manager salary at the job I was working at. And then I had to sell a lot of what I had just to pay the bills until I found a new job. Luckily, when I found my new job, I still had like 4 or 5 snakes left out of like probably the 20 some, 30 some that I had accumulated over that time. And then everything was going good then until I like really, really tried going in kind of above my head on some stuff. And then I got back out of it again in like 2019. I thought I was going to be just done because I was on the verge of like divorce and this obsession with I was trying to get the best stuff I possibly could, but with the income that I had and paying child support and all that kind of shit, I was taking like high interest loans to get snakes and then like not paying bills. So I fucked myself a little bit at that point, and then took a year or two away basically, and now got back into it, way more level-headed. And so this is kind of like 3.0 version of Hissy Fit Reptiles right now. A lot smarter, a lot more focused, and a lot less stupid with my my stuff. So
finally, a dose of some fucking reality right now, because at the end of the day, this is what anyone who has experience in this and has gone through anything that you've gone through and was able to kind of hang in there and keep going, they fear for anyone else to go through that, because not everyone can bounce back from that. Not everyone is able to go through that when they're so well off already. And for the most part, a lot of these reptile keepers who've gone through any crazy dip have built up enough momentum to where they can handle the dip and they can be fine. But that's why you don't be reckless when you make money. But the first and foremost, is, just like anything else, it's like I look at kind of doing I don't want to put on that same spectrum of like being an NBA or like a fucking professional baseball player, but I do say that if you're able to breed reptiles for a living, for full time, for 5+ years, and you have a good history of doing what a good breeder should do, I mean, that's kind of like everything's going your way. Like, I feel like, you know what I mean? But the thing is, you either have, bro, this is a good example on how you never got that momentum, but you still wanted it more than anything. And you kind of saw the vision. You had what it was that you wanted, but timing's everything, right? And also luck has to be on your side. I don't think people understand how, like, dude, I don't want to say I'm lucky, but goddamn, I got lucky, bro. Like, I had so many good things happen to me where I made the right decision and somehow met the right people who didn't fuck me, and it got me to just where I'm at little by little. Now, mind you, I don't trust almost anybody, so it's really hard to fuck me when I already don't trust you. You know what I mean? I'm
right.
Like, and I give people almost like, like, you have to kind of show me, like, if I love you a certain way, I got to see it back. And if I see it back for so long and we start just doing things for each other, then we have a relationship. You know what I mean? But those don't always come easy. Now, mind you, I'm also where I'm at because I'm also a big face in the industry and I show my face a lot. So a lot of people just want to befriend me, right? But it wasn't like that in the beginning, bro. Like, there's just people who were just so two-faced and people who were just so like giving you almost wrong information just to either mind fuck you or to just lead you down a bad path. Okay.
Right.
And I got to tell you, man, if I didn't start this podcast and actually start feeling like, well, fuck what they think, I know I'm doing this, I kind of would probably be in a really bad place mentally, because I would always feel like, well, who fucks with me? Who does it? It would just be a weird place to be in, because, you got to understand, everyone loves giving certain people reach arounds and the clout and the fucking, praise. But you got other people who been putting in their time and putting in their fucking, just been taking their licks and not getting the same kind of luck. But it doesn't mean it's not going to come either. Like it just like for instance, the fact that you had something that you wanted so bad, and yet something so drastic had to happen for you to realize it, right? Like,
right.
Like, and I'm sure that took even a lot for you to realize, and for you to even have to downplay what you were doing just for a couple of years, but it never really left your heart. Like breeding stayed in your blood, and that's why we're at where we're at today, you know. And
yeah,
some people need that, you know, and not, you know, it's just some people don't even have the balls to do what you did, and somehow they still figure it out, you know what I mean? But you know, it's not a good life to live like that. It's not good to live on the fucking like the what if, or here I am just owing people, and like, you know, like what the fuck went, like it's not a really, like, you know, it can fuck with people's sleep, it can fuck with their mood. It's just not a good healthy place. So I think you did the right thing.
Yeah, well, you know, a big part of it too, like when I was about ready to get out, and before that, when I was, you know, doing those loans and shit like that, the luck thing that you mentioned as a big part of it, because I was like, oh yeah, I have these girls breeding this year. I got these combos going. I can make some $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 animals. I can make $10,000 animals if I get really lucky. And I bombed on any of the odds. I bombed on a lot of the odds, or the girls didn't go, or all this different shit. I'm like, fuck, now I still owe this money, you know? And then like, yeah, it was like they said, it was stupid stuff. And I was kind of just banking on what wasn't there and just hoping that it would have been there. You know what I mean?
I mean, if you want, let's kind of talk about some situations I was in. Yeah, I feel like my first 2 years. Okay. Like, you know, I've said this story before, Doug, but before I got into the snake game, I was in a change in my life. You know, I went from making fast money and, you know, shortcut money to meeting at that time was my girlfriend, but now my wife. And she was like the most straight arrow, most like perfect fucking human I've ever met. And meaning she's like, does it like, she's not, everything she does is perfect. I'm just saying, like, you know, her soul, her parents, like everything is just like, oh my God, you're like, there's really nothing toxic about you. Right. Even though she's a female, there is something toxic. Just kidding. But it was something where like at some point my antics that, like, you know, because I told her, yeah, I'm done with that life. I'm not doing it, but I was still kind of doing it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that was kind of even the first 2 years I was, you know, first 2 years I was in the snake game, I was still fucking around with, and, you know, selling drugs here and there. And just because I couldn't just fully leave it, but she was getting over it, and she could just see like this pattern where obviously if I can't let go of it, it's going to eventually become heavy again. And then what do you think that would have done with my attention, my passion, with what I had? Like, I would have just been like, well, fuck, I don't need to worry about how I can make money on this side. I could just make money the side I'm used to making, which was always my downfall. Right. But when that line was drawn in the sand and my wife gave me a fucking ultimatum, I was like, well, I'm not, you know, I don't think I'll ever have the chance to meet someone as wholesome as my wife ever again. I've been through so many whores, no disrespect, ladies, but I've been through so many whores in life where I was like, I thought it was just a norm. Like, I just like, oh my God, like this is going to be normal. Like, but no, it's not normal, fellas. Don't settle for a whore. I got to tell you, you don't have to settle for a whore. But going back to what I was saying, it was like, all right, fine, fuck it. Now I got to focus on what I have. And I think within the first year of me collecting ball pythons, I had about 60 ball pythons, I want to say, I collected within my first year, which was all because, you know, I kept finding hookups, Craigslist, fucking, like, it's like, I just felt like, and then I met people who were like, hey man, if you know, I'll give you these 3 breeder females for, like, it was just one of those things. And I just kept getting hooked the fuck up. But I wasn't doing any research on the codoms. I wasn't doing any research on recessives. I didn't even know what the fuck, what was what. I thought you could take that snake and take that snake, put them together, and then they're going to come out looking like a mix or some shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
But by the time I realized all that, I realized all these 60 snakes didn't make any sense for the most part. I was like, this is not good. But I thought, okay, well, what got me to want to buy these snakes? Well, I put them for sale, right? And mind you, I've been raising these snakes for a good year. They're all healthy. They're doing good. You know what I mean? And I got hooked up on a lot of stuff. So what that means was the following I built within that year, I started hitting people up. Hey, do you need this snake? And basically I got rid of what I had to get rid of, kept what I wanted to keep, but I was able to make money. Like, I don't want to say a shit ton of money, but like I sold about 40 snakes. Okay. Right. And you know, like, mind you, I'm I don't know, man. I hate to say that I'm a good salesperson, but I really am. Like I'm really meant to be on earth to fucking sell things. Like I'm just really good. You know what I mean? And just really because I'm informative and like that's just I feel like being informative could take you a long ways, right? And no matter what, it's like always people always feel like when I talk to them, they feel like I'm selling them something. Like that's the kind of and I'm not. I'm just very passionate about things that I talk about. You know what I mean? So with snakes, it's like I'm not even trying to sell you. This snake is really awesome. You know what I mean? And I'm just willing to go the extra mile. So I got to say, because of my quick thinking and how I knew how, okay, there's Craigslist and, just even posting stuff on Instagram and even talking to my peers, man, I got rid of those snakes I had to get rid of really, really quick. It brought me money that I had that I never had. Like now I had like, man, I had money where I was like, holy shit, I'm up now. Like, this is kind of like, almost like, in the drug game where you sell your load and it's like you triple back. That's kind of like what it felt like. But I was like, I'm not in the drug game. I'm doing this legit. Like, holy shit, I did this legal. And so it was really awesome. And like I did that to get me out of my original hole. Cause like I said, like I was buying snakes just to buy snakes. And when I had the extra money, but wasn't really thinking of bills. And then what really got me, bro, like, what do you think I had to do with these 60 snakes? I had to feed them. So my rat bill was like fucking over $100 a week. And I was like, so here I am, like a guy who's like barely getting his life together. And like, even the money, I didn't make a lot of money at the gym, but I made like what, $3,000 a month or something, but still like that was nothing. Like I was so used to having money at my leisure where it was just like, no matter even what I made at a job, it wasn't enough. You know what I mean? I just found a way to shit on it. And so this is why, now it's crazy. I've never been this. I don't want to say I'm good with money now, but fuck, like where I'm at compared 5 years ago because of the snakes and how like my mind thinks now. Like first and foremost, I stand behind quality, Doug, 110%. Like I love showing my animals off because how good and healthy they look. And I love hearing feedback, but I also carry that energy with something I sell. And people need to do that. I would never sell anything that's faulty. I would never sell anything that's not eating, something that just isn't right. I would never sell ever. Like that would just like, unless the person knew ahead of time, hey, look, this thing has like a fucking weird jaw, just so you know. And if you want it here, you could take it. That type of thing. Even then, I don't even like, it's sad, but I don't even like selling animals like that. Like I almost don't rather not have that out there. Which goes to another sad story, but either way, like, I don't know, man, I'm very thankful that I was able to kind of jump on the, because here at the end of the day, Doug, 2009 or in that era, social media wasn't where it's at today. This is a whole different ballgame, bro. Like, look how you're able to get information and whatnot. And if we could kind of pick things up from when you got back into the game in 2019, what were some of the, who were you following? Who were you listening to? Who are your biggest influences in 2019?
Yeah, so actually 2019 when I got out of it, so the end of 2020 and like into 2021 is more so actually the restart, I guess we'd say.
Shit.
Yeah, because I was pretty much gone. I didn't watch any snake fucking related shit at all, no videos, nothing. I was so, I don't know, I guess I blamed it so much. I wasn't blaming it, but I was like, blaming myself for, having that take control of my life. And it just didn't really, it was the point where I wasn't even really caring about it. I didn't watch the Kabelka video. I used to watch, JKR videos religiously, prior, back when it was JKR. And then, like Garrick's videos and like all that kind of shit. And then, but yeah, when I got back into it, it was like, okay, I missed like 2 years of shit. So you're DJing, right?
Yeah.
If you miss 2 years of music, you miss a lot of fucking music, right?
Right.
So like same thing. Like there was a lot of new morphs that were coming out. I'm like, shit, I never even heard of that one. Never heard of that one. There's holy shit, chocolate's actually a wantable. People want chocolate now. It used to be chocolate was hardly a gene anybody wanted. So
dude, yeah, good. I'm listening.
So like, but yeah, when I got back into it though, like I said, Garrick, he actually was one of the ones that told me. He's like, if you're getting out, maybe if you can try keeping a handful of animals, don't sell them all. Because what if you do get back in, that way you have some. And I kind of did that actually. So when I got out, I actually still had about 10 ball pythons. So when I started back up, they were like breeding size, So my first year back, I was able to do a couple clutches, which my males weren't really that great. So I just kind of like threw some stuff together kind of, but yeah, no, I mean, I started following everybody again, kind of that I was following, and then, you know, a lot of new names have popped up, obviously. But there's so much content out there. It's so hard to catch everything. Even now, like, I'll catch as much of your podcast as I can, and, you know, like, just try to, like, listen to what people's, you know, thoughts are and stuff, you know, Bob Vu and all those guys. So a lot of those guys actually got in after I did, and there's, you know, influences on me now, you know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean, that's like, that should be an influence for anyone out there. Like, it doesn't, like, I feel like some people look at other people and go, oh, I'll never catch up to that person, or like they have that mentality where, like, I'll never be them. But, like, I mean, no, you probably won't, because you're going to be something different if you could just believe in your craft. Okay, and what I mean by that, you have to trust whatever it is that you're doing. You need to rally behind it. You can't get it and be like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I'm just going to raise it up and worry about later. No, that needs to be the project you lose sleep over. You need to fucking work with shit that literally keeps you out of your, I hate to say it, but, like, you know, like, if you got priorities like family shit and it's hard for you, like, mind you, family is over everything, but still, like, you need shit that's difficult for you to concentrate other things on, like, because how much that makes you happy. And what's crazy is, you know, I have so many snakes that I had to find homes for this year that when I made those snakes, I thought I would never get rid of them. You know what I mean? Because that's just my attachment. I love the animals, but at the end of the day, I have so many other projects. Like, I'm not just a ball python guy. I'll never be that. No disrespect. But I'm just saying, like, I have to be busy otherwise, right? So at the end of the day, I can't just keep all these ball pythons. And I am very quick to realize when a snake is done with me. Okay. And people need to kind of be more mindful of that, because first and foremost, the longer you wait on finding any snake that you're done with a new home, it's going to be more and harder to find that home, because things are always, you know, evolving into the next thing. You know what I mean? Right. So I just feel like assessing your collection every year, especially if you have, like, you know, if you're already busting out clutches, right? Like 10 plus clutches, you need to start assessing shit that you really aren't going to have any use for, and start hooking motherfuckers up in your hood, or not your hood, in your circle, and just like, kind of like, do good. That's the best thing, man. Like, you know, there's things technically I could have just sat on and sold for what they're technically valued for, but I'm like, nah. If I believe in somebody and I know someone's on their way, or they have what it takes, then I'm going to put some of this sick ass shit in their hands just to see them produce something with it and just be happy with it. You know what I mean? Like, that's, you know, but you have to build that community too. Like, it's hard when you don't know nobody, like, but that's why also going to shows, being active, being in live chats like this shit right now. Like, you gotta show that you care. Once people see that you care, it kind of opens up the doors for you, right?
Yep. And so right now, like, with my collection, every single snake in my collection is either het for something, visual something, or visual and het for something. Right. So I mean, I won't even consider a snake unless it's like a, you know, like a really good codom or whatever that I don't have, that, you know, it still has value to it. But if it's not, it has to be at least het for something or visual something for recessives. And that's how my whole entire collection is being based off. And, you know, obviously I'm not just trying to throw out every single recessive in my collection and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm trying to kind of keep you know, work. Okay, I have this recessive. I don't have it yet. I want to get it. I can maybe put it with this recessive and that recessive, you know, like zebra and stuff like that. But that's, you know, a couple years from now, maybe. But
I mean, one thing I do want to kind of, and it's nothing that you are meaning by it, or even when I say, is like the word have to. You don't have to.
Right.
You don't have
right.
You
Yeah.
don't have to do shit, because I got to mention, here's somebody I look up to in the game, the good old mayor of Condortown, Bill Stiegel. You know who Bill Stiegel is? I don't know him
personally, but yeah.
Bill, and this is probably on the low end. Bill sells probably a good 100 bells, ball pythons every year. He sells them at $300 a pop. Okay, that's fucking 30K right there. You know what I mean? Like, and like, that ain't shit. Like he has, obviously, that's a perfect pet snake. And so, and think about the low overhead and stuff that just makes it easy for him to do. Bill really enjoys hatching out these bells. He loves sometimes they come out different, but whatever it is, he fucks with it and it works. So you just got to keep something that you feel like you're always going to be happy with. And it doesn't have to be what Doug fucks with, doesn't have to be what I fuck with, or Canova, or fucking Miguel, or, you know, Levance. It could be whatever you want to be. And quality sticks with quality sticks with the brand, and if you are that guy pumping out quality animals, and even if you're not a breeder, but you want to get your daughter or you want to get your nephew a snake, you probably go to Bill. Like, Bill, can I get one of those bells, bro? Like, I need
Yeah.
And Bill has no problem selling that shit every year.
Well, and that's the thing. I've been to local shows in Wisconsin, and those shows, if you better not even plan on bringing anything high end, because people are gonna want to just hold it, and that's as far as that's gonna go. Most of those people are looking for, I want a pet. What's $100 or $75 or $150 that I can buy from you. It's like, so like making those pastels and those basically the byproducts of what I'm not wanting to keep myself. I always every pairing I do, it's because I want something from that pairing. Like,
Yeah.
I want something from there. I'm shooting for something, and if I don't hit it, then whatever I don't hit on that I want, that's gonna go up for sale. If I hit more than, like, let's say I hit like 3 or 4 of them, I'm like, oh, I don't need that many. Awesome, I can try to sell that or trade that for something else in my collection. But yeah, and the lower end stuff, I mean, it's almost easier for me to go to a show and sell that than putting even like the slightly high range stuff on Morph Market and selling it right now.
No, I mean, I want to kind of talk about the level of you coming into the game after you left it. And what I mean by that, like, what were your game plans as far as investments go? Like, did you already have some things in mind you wanted to buy? Were you already shopping around? Like, how did you kind of get your way back into some of the investments you first started with?
Yeah, Desert Ghost was like the big fun. So I got into Desert Ghost. I bought my first Desert Ghost stuff from Levance back in like 2016. Before people knew Desert Ghost was gonna kick ass. So as I was getting out of the stuff, Justin was just unveiling how awesome Desert Ghost was, right? So as I was getting out, people were like, "Oh yeah, I'll buy your Desert Ghost stuff." I had Exquisite Exotics bought most of my Desert Ghost stuff, which I am still kicking myself in the ass for this day, because Reggie bought like some stuff from me and produced Desert Ghost clowns with them. My holdbacks, he bought my holdbacks for me. I could have been already in the Desert Ghost clown range right now, like from a couple of years ago even. And so getting back into Desert Ghost was a big priority for me. And then clown, everybody obviously is working for clown now, because there's so many combos that are coming out constantly with clown, and those are the ones that catch people's eye. So I mean, obviously getting back into clown, but just the pied stuff. But like I said, Desert Ghost was like my main focus, and it kind of still is.
Man, it's at the end of the day, there's something that you're gonna love that, like, that same love won't always be there for that morph. Like, only because this is the way the world works. Like, there's just something else, right? But one thing I wanted to touch on that we kind of skipped over it, but you're asking me how, or you're making that analogy as far as like when you're out of the DJ game for 2 years and you're not fucking with music, there's 2 years of not knowing what's new, right? But I can tell you right now, man, when I came into the game, I detached myself from music completely. I just still had my own iTunes, my own music, right? But I stopped DJing, stopped giving a fuck about mixing. I stopped everything, right? But then I still have I have a playlist. I have a couple playlists in my folders. It's called Forever Gold. And what I mean is these songs are forever gold, no matter what. They're timeless tracks, right? Ball Python game, even if you don't know the morph yet, there's timeless morphs within this game. So, the whole thing of Garrick telling you to hold on some things, like, that was him looking out for you. Like, cause he knew,
definitely.
like, he fucking knew, like, there's something about these, you know what I mean? And that's the beauty of the Ball Python game is, like, hey man, you want to step back? Like, let's just say you're like, fuck, I need a mental reset. I don't want to breed for 2 years. I don't give a fuck. I need to chill. Like, I could see people getting to that point. I really can. Like I'm telling you, with all the heartbreak that I've been having with behind me, like, there's some times where I'm just like, I wish I could just say fuck this and just look at these, be alive and be happy, right? But it's up to that person, like, you know what I mean? It just really kind of takes you doing the soul searching of understanding what it is that you need, you know what I mean? But every now and then every now and again people have to adjust. Us humans can't just run on the same fucking level or the same stream all the time. Like, we are that's why we go to sleep and shit at night. You know what I mean? And that's why I also know that there's oversleeping and there's undersleeping, right? And there's so many things that, even though quote unquote, like for instance, eating 3 times, 4 times a day, I don't fucking do that. I feel like that's overkill. If anything, that's why I used to feel like shit. So there's all these quote unquote things that maybe you should do, but you got to figure out what makes you feel good. Like you got to figure out what tunes you, you know what I mean? But as I'm saying this, I'm saying as your ball python projects too, like you got to find what floats your boat, and that's what you need to roll with.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. The other thing is too, is, I remember going to what was going to be my last show that I would not vend at, but just go to. So I've gone to pretty much every Tinley from like 2010 until I got out or whatever. And I remember going there and be like, yeah, I was posting stuff that I was selling my collection and whatever. And I had like everybody I talked to, they're like, oh man, Brock Wagner, he's like, hey man, are you okay? Like the support from everybody, the messages from people and stuff. It was pretty awesome. Just the community in general, that's another reason why why it was hard to stay away from the community, is because of how awesome this community in general is. You know what I mean? Like everybody was like concerned about me, not because they were worried about me not getting whatever animals or buying stuff from them or whatever, but because they genuinely gave a shit about Doug Knacker, not just his favorite reptiles. You know what I mean?
They care about the knack.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
So okay, let's kind of talk about how things went for you this year. What I guess you could say you really kind of learned from 2022 with whatever it is that you had going on with either holdbacks or raise ups or projects. Let's kind of talk about 2022.
This was a weird year for me. It was really up and down. So I bombed on, like, some of the recessive stuff. I was hoping to, hit on some visuals and stuff, and I totally missed the odds.
Mm-hmm.
Het pied to het pied, got 6 eggs, not a single pied, proven het pieds on both sides too, it's like, son of a bitch. However, I hit on this really weird thing I was called the Sizzler. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's
here we go.
So this is something I showed Ozzy a long time ago, the mother of this clutch, and he's like, sometimes that stuff just pops up. That's why they're called mutations. The shit just sometimes will just kind of pop up. It could be something, or maybe it is something that's already established, but your best bet's just to kind of keep on breeding, whatever. Well, so what it should have been is just a super pastel yellow belly and then posset pied, right? And but she has like a weird gunmetal gray to her, and it's just really weird, like blushing and stuff to her that doesn't look like a regular super pastel yellow belly. And I bred a pastel mahogany to this girl. He's also het pied. And I got some weird fucking shit, like weird stuff. Like, I think I have it posted on my Instagram and stuff like that, but I couldn't. I basically have to hold everything back from that clutch to read it, the stuff, to find out what the hell's going on. Some people were like, "Oh, maybe it's GHI." I'm like, no, there was no GHI in any of that snake's history. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, Doug. I hear the Sizzler. Listen, I'm an '80s child, so I know what the Sizzler is. Okay, it was actually a level B, a B level grade, like
restaurant.
Point. Yeah. Never really choice. Like I would always rather go to Red Lobster. Scissors, I feel like, was really for poor people. Unfortunately, I hate to say that. But,
right.
But anyways, okay.
So the reason why I named her this,
this is one of them, right?
Yeah. So that again was supposed to have been a pastel mahogany to a super pastel yellow belly. I've looked up what a super pastel mahogany yellow belly looks like, and it looks nothing like that at all. And that was like one. That's actually not even. Is that? Yeah, that's the best one that came out. The most insane looking one, but this was also in there.
That was nice.
So
if you were to get, if it was up to you to guess on what you would ID this snake, what would you ID it?
So I would think that it's got to be pastel mahogany yellow belly, but whatever else is possibly going on there, that if there is an extra gene. And which, like, again, I'm not saying that this is brain. As right now, it's just code name. So if I find out it's a fucking GHI or whatever, I'll name it right. I'll change it and stuff like that. I'm not.
It definitely gives me a GHI vibe, but it also like hypo too. Like it looks very hypo with the head. It just
it's got like these. Yeah. In some of the better pictures too, it's hard to see, but like on the front eye stripes, you know, like, so here you got the eyes, and then in front you have the stripes. There's like these dots, these 2 dots on each side. This one you can see really, see those 2 dots in the front?
Yeah.
That's actually on all of them, except for, but they're a little bit more prominent on a few of them. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, is this a pastel version of a?
No, this right here, I think it's just a pastel yellow belly, but it's really fucking intense.
So there's no Sizzler in this.
I don't think so, but I almost hate. I was gonna sell it, but I'm like, you know what? I'll just not do it now and stuff. I'll just keep on messing with it. And
yeah, I mean, I'm go ahead. No, finish.
Oh no, so yeah, like I said, the mom looked the most like this one. The one, I'll go back. The mom, when she was born, looks the most like that, but now she looks totally different as an adult. But she's got, her yellows are really yellow, and the blushing is like totally weird looking, but it doesn't look. So I don't know. I'm thinking this one might not have the mahogany in it. The other ones maybe look the way they do because of mahogany. So
let's talk about this then, Doug. Here you are in a unique position with these animals. I mean, who knows? But maybe, right?
Or yeah.
So what's the game plan now? Obviously, smart move. I would hold them back too, because who the fuck, I wouldn't want to put these in anyone else's hands and have them figure it out.
Right.
So what's the game plan? What are we looking to do here?
So the game plan on that. So fuck my luck again. It was all males except for 1 female.
Okay.
So I had 1 female in the whole goddamn thing. So now it's like, okay, now I have 4 males to basically fuck around with. That I'm like, damn it, that kind of sidetracks some of my other projects I was going to work on with my females, right?
Mm-hmm.
The thing is like a lot of my females have a lot of other shit going on with them too that I don't want to have my results skewed because of those. So what I'm gonna probably do is try to find, like, I have like a pied that either she's fire or she's just a regular pied. So like when one of these is up to size, breed that with the pied. I have a blade clown, maybe take that one and take it to the clown. So not only will I get like the, try to break down these genes, but like they'll also be het for something. You know what I mean?
Pisses me off. I mean, listen, everyone could have their own way. I mean, listen, I got to tell you, like Sentinel, I hate that fucking name, Sentinel. Paint is sick. I think keep it Paint, right?
Yeah, yep.
The fucking name Sentinel. You know what sucks is, like, I heard that name from one of the most loved guys. One of the guys I love the most in this game. That's Khalil from 514 Reptiles. Shout out to my boy Khalil. But every time he fucking posts his Sentinel, I go, can you just call it Paint, please? Because like that's the kind of shit that makes me go crazy. It's like, why are there these two different names for this one snake, and it's, like the coral glow and banana. Why the fuck would you ever call it coral glow? Like, it's a fucking banana. Like, I mean, to me, that's the way I think of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's just kind of like, man, get it together sometimes, I feel like.
Well, and okay, so when you hear the reason why I call it the Sizzler is because the mom on the spine of her, like her patterning on her spine, there was an S, an I. I know it should have been a Z, but it was an S again, and then an L, and then an R. Like, it was like spelled on her back, like Sizzler. So I'm like, I'll call it Sizzler.
So with all due respect, that should be the mom's name. You shouldn't name the fucking guy.
Not the project,
Unless the project was spelling out Sizzler on every other snake, then I could see them being the Sizzler project. But you literally, it's like saying like, oh, there's a paradox, a black paradox. I'm gonna call this fucking project the Black Paradox Project, and even though they're all white snakes.
right.
I'm just busting your balls, bro. Yeah, listen,
no, it's all good. It's all good.
Listen, at the end of the day, you can fucking name it fucking, fucking bougie fucking like, what are you gonna name it? Whatever you want. And that's why it's like, I hope motherfuckers gonna be so mad when I name my shit. Like, if I ever get that lucky, I'm gonna come up with something so like, what? But it's gonna make sense. But definitely, I feel like, keep it Sizzler. Obviously, you got to stick to your guns at this point. But like, don't name the next project you might like discover like Denny's or something. If the mom has DENNY in her back and the parent and the kids don't, you know what I mean? Like, just maybe double think that next time.
Well, it'd be like a sizzle reel,
Scampi. All right.
This is the grill.
Yeah. So kind of going back to, what we were talking about as far as, the way your year kind of planned out. Yep. I mean, how many clutches did you have this year?
So this year, out of the 13 breeding snakes I had this year, 11 of them have gone so far. I have one more
Nice.
that's actually about ready to lay.
So about 12 out of 13.
Yeah. Yep.
And how do you feel about 12 clutches? I mean, I personally, like, I hit 26 this year,
Sure.
and I'm man, it was a lot better with 12 because I didn't have any hatchlings by this time, but now I have a lot of hatchlings. I have, I think, over like 60 I have a lot of hatchlings. Not worried about it. I just haven't posted them yet. I'm kind of waiting for the time of year too. But how do you feel? Like, where you at with 12 clutches? What are you looking to be at maybe in the next 2-3 years?
So like next year, like this coming season, I'm only up to like 17, but like next like 2023, 2024 season, I'll be above the 12, I'll be in the 25 range or so, 25, maybe even closer to 30. Okay. At least pairings anyways. But like right now, I mean, it's really comfortable because by the time, I mean, I have like 2 snakes left from my first clutch that I had, and that's just because I haven't really pushed them too hard. But everything else in between is sold besides the most recent clutch or 2. I have 2 clutches in the incubator that just shed out, so I got to get them all set up and everything. And then there's a show that I'll be vending at in January. So I'll be putting those up on the show, and then whatever's not selling at the show, I'll probably put up at Morph Market.
Okay.
But yeah, so I mean, I right now it's comfortable, but I definitely can handle the extra. I mean, I gotta get more racks too, obviously, but gotta call Freedom Breeder up again.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I mean, I feel like even I tell myself, like, man, I know I can handle, like, like I remember about 2 years ago, I was very heavy about hitting 100 clutches. Like, I wanted 100 clutches at some point in my career. I don't care when it took, but as I went from 13 to even over 20, I was like, wow, like, and mind you, I do travel a lot, you know that. And I do a lot of fucking things with this podcast that keeps me away sometimes. And obviously more snakes, more problems. Like, that's just the way it works.
Right.
So, I don't know, man, you understand there's people out there who don't produce a lot of clutches, but produce relevant fucking smoking shit. And if I could kind of limit my overhead and keep it less is more, but then produce higher, more quality shit, I think I'm happier with that, So, I mean, yeah, I hit 20 something clutches this year, and I don't really have a goal in mind next year. I do know I could take it to like 50 if I want, but I don't think I want to. I rather just kind of look at my most 30, like the most important 30, and I'll hit hopefully 25 of those, if not maybe 20 or whatever. But I don't. Like you said, I want to breed shit where out of that clutch, at least there's something desperate in there I want. Like, there's something in there I want out of each one of those clutch. It all has a purpose,
Right. Well, that's like too, like, I know like on Morph Market, I'll look at stuff and it will say no trades, no offers or whatever.
Yeah, like, I kind of regret saying that too sometimes because sometimes somebody has something that you could fucking use and you go,
exactly.
Oh, shit.
Exactly. And I always I'm accepting trades because it's like, you know what? I mean, the worst thing I can say if they ask me is, no, I'm not interested in it. Sorry, Yeah. But hey, what if they have something that I could really fucking use? You know what I mean? Or maybe I didn't even think about that when you know what? Damn, that would be pretty cool in here. I actually got offered the paint stuff for something like, was it last year or some of the stuff I made? And I was like, I didn't know much about the paint. So I said, nah, that's all right. And now I'm like, shit, I wish I'd have fucking got that paint stuff. You know what I mean? But lesson learned on that too. It's just sometimes it's like, shit, I didn't realize the potential in something because I didn't look at it any further than what was listed on Morph Market. And it's like, okay.
Now, here's the thing. Like, I used to always kind of I think for fucking, man, if you listen to a lot of the podcasts for like 2 years straight, I kept saying how bad I need to get into DG, how bad I need to get in DG. And I just because I always knew, like, okay, first off, if I want into something, I just can't get one. Like, it's going to be like, I need to find either like a group or like, a 1.2 or something where I know I feel good. Right. So that was always like my, oh my God, that's my problem. But this year, I got into the DG game.
Right.
And I got to tell you, man, my DG roster is pretty respectable, but it happened very quick. Even though I was dying for it for 2 years, it got to a point where, fuck, next year I could breed visual DG clowns if everything works out, and that's, and that's for me personally, I feel like that's like That would probably be my since ever producing a super GHI. I'll never forget my very first goal snake I wanted to make was a super GHI Mojave leopard. That was like, I told myself in 2017, I was like, I need to make, and I wanted it in hypo. But now when I saw how much hypo lightens it up, I'm almost happy or even more stoked of a het influenced super GHI, just because it keeps a melanistic, dark, and just like crazy shit. So I made that snake, and I made it a lot quicker than I thought I made it, because obviously it's a codom, right? So I got the good snakes, got good quality snakes, made what I needed to make, but it definitely elevated from there. Went from the super GHI shit to, okay, now what do I want to make? How much is that shit? What the fuck? And it's like, right. But as long as you kind of always manifest it and always say that you need it and you want to get it, it's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's why I never really stress. Like, I don't, like, there's still things I say that I need to have. Like, I don't have puzzle, right? I would love to get puzzle. But I'm not losing sleep about not having puzzle. I mean, I'll get puzzle when I need to get puzzle. It's going to happen when it needs to happen. But it's like, I can't have it all, you know, like, and that's the thing. Even when you like, okay, let's say I get puzzle tonight, right, Doug? Well, guess what? I want another thing. I want the fucking tri-stripe, okay? Or I want it just never ends. It never fucking ends. So all you can do is really just take it day by day, and you could just really see what fate has in store for you. Like, that's basically what it is. Like, you know, you may even want something and might find something else, and that's just how it rolls.
Right. Well, I mean, shit, everybody's, you know, gone through Morph Market and just scrolled down their fucking thing on their app. Now it's like, I never heard of that, never heard of that, never heard of that. Like, you know, there's like, you know, some of the stuff that's on there, it's like, God, I've never even heard of before. And there's only like 3 or 4 animals on there. You go look at it, it looks like a normal, and it's like $6,000. And it's like, fuck, man. Like, if I knew more about what that animal did, but you know, it's like, you know, looking into it, sometimes you don't find anything. Sometimes you just got to join their Facebook groups or whatever that about that animal, or I don't know. There's so much stuff, but like right now I'm pretty comfortable and content with what I have, like with what I'm working with, because, you know, this next season, you know, I could be making some pretty interesting like clown combos that would be double het for DG and whatever else, you know, or hypo or whatever. And, you know, next season, just like you, I'll be looking at making visual desert ghost clown combos, stuff like that. You know, let's say I make 2 or 3 of them, you know, keep 1 or maybe keep 2, have that other one and be like, hey, yeah, I want to get into this gene, that Cosmos gene. By the time I fucking make some desert ghost clown stuff, maybe somebody will have it that you know, hey, they'll take this and I'll do a little trade off and get something new in my collection, you know, stuff like that. So,
I mean, if it's one thing I kind of did that kind of bit me in it bit me in the fucking face a little bit, because like I came off the super GHI win, right? Like that year when I hit super GHI shit, where I was like, well, I want to make this again, right? Which really is like all I wanted to see if I could make even a cooler version of what I made. But really, that first clutch of super GHIs I made was probably the cleanest, darkest shit I've ever made, right?
Sure.
So I spent, I think, almost the next 2 years trying to remake these super GHIs instead of just putting clowns to them or something different, right?
Right.
So that's why it's also smart. But regardless, I still, you know, I'm still happy I made super GHIs, you know what I mean?
Right.
But now look where I'm at. Like now I'm like, holy shit. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, if I would have actually put my visual clown to this, you know, GHI Mojave female or this GHI leopard female, right?
Yeah.
I would have all these 100% hets ready to fucking rock and roll. So actually I could be making super GHI clowns, which I got to tell you, that's one of my favorite combo clowns out there is a super GHI clown Mojave. Or like I could have been like the super GHIs in hypo I'm making visually right now could have been visual clown hypo if I would have known what I was doing. But I wanted to make what I wanted to make that year, and that was my mistake. Fuck what you want to make this year. Like you need to start like this year.
Ahead,
you have to, bro. Like this year was already 2 years ago. Why are you already thinking of this year? It's too late. Like, you know, unless there's something that you're like, well, I could put this together and that will help me out. Well, then go ahead and do it. But I was always this, like, you know, just because, you know, I was learning. I was trying to keep up. Like, here's the thing. I was trying to outdo motherfuckers. I felt like I was trying to outdo in my own like kind of realm of people and whatnot. I just wanted to keep wowing people, right? But you know, after so long, it's kind of like, okay, you did good this year, but then like next year, you're either making the same shit, which is like, okay, better be better than the year before. But even if it is, it's still the same shit. Or you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's kind of like, okay, that Sizzler clutch or whatever. You know, I know it's, you know, you don't like the name, but
no, I was stop it, bro. That's your shit. I was just
no. But like, okay, so like that wasn't a very anticipated clutch. I didn't think I was gonna make that much cool shit. I was just trying to prove her out to be het pied because he's het pied, you know. But now that I made that shit, like I'm not gonna put him with her again because I'm not gonna accomplish it. It's not gonna answer any fucking questions that I'm gonna have about what the hell's going on there. You know what I mean? Like it's like now it's like, okay, I gotta figure out what out of my males that I have right now, what different male do I have that I can put to that girl and see if anything crazy comes out again. You know what I mean? Like I need to like start answering those questions about that. At the same time, with my other pairings, still keep on moving forward. You know, like I can't like sidetrack it too much because of that one clutch. You know, when those males get up to size and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, it might be at a point too where if I don't have the female, like the females that I want to, you know, take out of my other breeding projects, it might be something where I get a hold of a buddy or maybe Garrick and say, hey, I have this male. Is there any females you don't have anything going on with? We can maybe kind of see what's going on with that. You can keep whatever that comes out of it and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's all about moving forward. You know, you almost kind of think 2 to 3 years ahead at any point in time in this game.
Shout out to everyone in the building. I want to say that this episode is brought to you by Mark Bailey over at Mark Bailey Reptiles. Please head over to Mark Bailey's Morph Market, see what he has available, and just be ready for what's to come 2023. Now, you know, it's funny, man. You ask a lot of these, like within the like last 2 years of reptile keepers or ball python breeders, a lot of them don't know who the fuck Mark Bailey is. And it's like, what's like, but mind you, Mark Bailey is definitely low key. You know, he's DL. I'm curious, what is your knowledge to Mark Bailey? I mean, since you were kind of in the game in 2009, did you ever hear about Mark Bailey at all?
Oh, Mark Bailey's the man.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
No, Mark Bailey is freaking awesome. So I'm pretty close with Kyle Hoffman as well, and Kyle's got a really good relationship with Mark Bailey.
What a guy.
And actually that's at one point in time, I don't know if he still does anymore because I get most of my rodents from Kyle or online or whatever, but for frozens. But Mark Bailey, actually, I used to buy my rodents from him. So
yeah.
So I don't know if he still does the rodents thing or not.
No, it's just for him now. He just does for himself. He doesn't sell or like, I think there's a couple guys he hooks up in the area, but like he's not commercialized or anything anymore.
Sure. And actually had one of my snakes from like my previous collection from whatever iteration of Hissy Fit Reptiles it was at that point in time. Right. I had gotten one thing from him as well, but yeah, most of it was just talking to him, showing him stuff that I had made. Him and I talking back and forth, but I haven't really contacted him or talked to him in quite a while now. But no, and he's got some good shit.
I don't like to brag about some of the things that, I mean, I'm not trying to help anyone else that haven't helped me. And what I mean by that, one thing I'm about to give you guys out there is a little piece of fucking advice on why you should go to reptile shows, because you might meet people like Mark Bailey at a reptile show. Okay. And I got to tell you, Mark Bailey is tuned in, but he's not tuned in. And what I mean by that, he knows everything that's happening, but his face isn't out here. Like he just is very behind the scenes, but the knowledge that this guy has, the different generational ways that the ball python business wise has been in, like this guy's seen it all. Like he's seen all of this. And sometimes when you have people like that in your phone book or people like that you could talk to, it kind of keeps this, you know what I mean, where you feel okay. And I don't know how you feel about this. We could talk about it, but there's some people out there who aren't too happy about, Justin coming out with recession videos, because there's also a bunch of fucking wannabe piggybackers right now trying to talk about recessions. And it's like, the fuck? Like, it's kind of like almost it's kind of like a hack to kind of get people in a fucked up mental state of mind where it's like, first and foremost, there's no panic. What's first and foremost, where's the recession? What recession are you even talking about when there are people selling snakes with no issues? I don't have
Right.
I mean, I'm not selling snakes like it's 2020. I can tell you that much. But
Right,
I am selling snakes, motherfucker. I got no problem selling snakes. But what I mean, especially because you've been in the game pre-social media. What do you think of all this content about recession, and especially people who've never even really been in a recession fucking talking about it?
They just gotta hold on to the shit, because hold on to like what they have their plans and doing stuff. They gotta kind of hold on to that, because I mean, this shit goes up and down. The whole ball python industry is like this, I mean, it's like it's all over. Because after the banana, I mean, I saw the whole banana thing when I remember when bananas first came out. I remember going to Kevin McCurley's nerd page, because Morph Market wasn't around at that point. So it was King Snake, or you go to these breeders' websites, right? And banana ball pythons were up for like $60,000. There was a pastel banana male for $60,000. $65,000 for another gene added onto it or whatever. And then all of a sudden, the whole fall of the bananas and coral glows and stuff, people were freaking out, being like, "Oh, ball python market's crashing. We need to get out of it. Sell all of your shit because it's not going to be worth anything anyways. Nobody's going to want the stuff." I don't know, man. I still sell banana stuff if I produce it, because it's not $60,000. It's like, 200 or whatever, 300 if it's a combo or whatever.
You want to know the one thing that's fucking... I can tell you one thing that my Morph Market inbox is full of: people asking me for banana pies. And I'm like, God damn it. Like, that's like the one thing I did not really make a lot of this year. I had one clutch and it was gone, but fuck, like I can never have to worry about selling a banana pie. That shit's gone.
Exactly. And, for people who don't know about our industry, a banana ball python, like that's as a fucking pet, that's an awesome freaking looking pet snake. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, especially like, my boy Socrates, God bless my homie, one of my best friends in this game. His daughter, I gotta tell you, man, me and his daughter have such a great relationship because of ball python. She's obsessed with ball pythons, and Uncle MJ hooked her up. Like, I fucking sent her. I mean, mind you, they're not DG clown shit, but to her it is. She's like, oh my God, like she's like, this is the most beautiful snake in the world, and it's the happiest kid on earth. And I feel like that's why ball pythons are really here, man. It's to keep the children and very happy, but it also keeps us adults kids. Like we get very happy and glowful about our clutches. Let's be honest.
Well, if you go to any reptile show and you start talking to anybody about what they got behind their table, or you just talking about people, with people that are there at the show, it's like we're all kids again at the fucking show. You know what I mean? We all act like kids about the stuff, It's like, oh man, talking about snakes and stuff with somebody, I'll be on the phone with them for freaking 2-3 hours, not even realize it's been 2 to 3 hours on the phone with somebody. And it's like, holy shit, my wife's like, the hell are you talking about? Like, oh, snakes, But
what's your knowledge? I'm only asking this because this might have been around the time you were getting in or getting out, or more like getting in. But there was a big ball python crash in the earlier 2000s. Do you know what time that was? Are you familiar with that?
So if it was pre-2009, then no, I thought I heard that there might have been one right before that, because with talking to Garrick, because Garrick's been in the game since like the 90s. So if I remember right, I thought I heard there was one that was kind of like in the mid 2000s, kind of before Kabelka got big with his stuff. And I had, when I got in, I mean, shit, I bought the first ball python I bought was from Garrick for $750. So I'm assuming it wasn't really around the time I got in, because people were buying stuff for that price range for that kind of stuff. Mystic potions were like $3,000, $4,000, stuff like that. So I might have missed on that one, actually.
Yeah. I'm gonna get the right person on this show one day, and because listen, I've talked to a couple people behind the scenes about this crash, but I haven't really kind of dig deep into it. And I'm just really curious, because I heard it's because of a group of people. Like, I heard it was a specific group of people that did something with the project that fucked everything for years.
Sure.
I want to get to the bottom of it.
Shit was kind of cutthroat back then, though, too.
It was dirty, bro.
Like it was, I mean, they were friends, but then like behind the scenes, it was like, no, this fucker's not gonna one up on me, kind of thing.
Terrible. And this is why I'm a big Barchek fan. I love Barchek to death, because I've had really deep, long conversations about stuff that he's seen and gone through, and how there have been projects literally robbed from him. I'm talking about physically, literally stolen from his facility due to orders from other people. You know what I mean? Like, Fucked up shit. And then you can even get deeper than that, like, accusing him of sending, fucking private part pics to a 14-year-old, like just really fucked up things that could really diminish a family or anything. And nobody cares.
Right.
Like, they don't give a fuck. So that's why I was like, holy shit, this is how they play that. Like, this is, and I got to say, it's not really, because how easy it is to expose and get your fucking dirt out there. People are moving smarter now. But once a shithead, always a shithead. Once a dirtball, always a dirtball. And dirtballs will continue to make dirtball moves. They'll eventually fuck up again. And that's why, listen, at the end of the day, it is sometimes rough to talk about some of the things I have to talk about. But it is what it is. Don't let it, don't do the dirt if you don't want the dirt to be thrown out. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but that's why I always encourage people to like speak up, but like, there's just ways of speaking up. Like you don't have to first and foremost go to a goddamn FBI Facebook page and just fucking become a fucking bitch about it. Right. Mind you, if you get no help, there's nobody in your circle, there's no peers, then okay, I guess you could go to the FBI Facebook page. But some people resort to that kind of shit because they kind of, you gotta understand some people that just like to throw fucking fits over nothing. And that's why you gotta be careful and mindful on how you approach certain situations. I feel like if you're connected enough, or if you know the right people, you could settle shit the way you need to settle shit. But you also shouldn't settle for shit. You know what I mean? Like, you need to speak the fuck up. And a lot of people, nothing against them, but a lot of people get treated like shit just so they could still get the snakes that they need to get. You know what I mean? And I guess I had too much pride in that. You can't just spit on me or treat me some type of way and just say, oh, okay, I'll just sit here and wait until you produce this snake. No, idiot. There's other people or there's other ways. Even usually, and I love Justin to death, but there are ways around Justin. You know what I mean? If you know if you know what you're doing, there are ways around Kabelka. Okay. That's all I got to say. But I love Justin. Good luck trying to do that.
Those FBI page things too. Like, I've seen people post stuff, but they're like, this is what happened, and the breeder didn't do this, and whatever. And they're like, didn't even talk to the breeder about it first. They just started posting shit on the internet. Like, started posting shit on Facebook and start like, okay, well, did you talk to the guy? Well, no, but he should have known. Whoa. You got, like, if you haven't talked to the person and tried to alleviate the situation, or maybe like try to make it right, then why you even posted on here in the first place? Like this is kind of like a last resort thing, like, hey, I've tried getting hold of the breeder won't contact me back. I've left messages, they won't respond. Then there's an issue. Okay, then you kind of go on there. But at the same time, I don't know. I every time I'm interested in buying a snake from somebody, I look up their history. I look up this, their reviews and all that kind of shit. Like, if I don't see something on there, I try to talk to them in person, because if I can talk to them in person and know that they're a legit person and not a bot or some random shit, I don't know, that the same thing too with selling. There's people who want to buy your snake. You send them the snake. Oh, I never received the snake. Well, it says you picked it up from FedEx. Well, I never received it. It must have been, I don't know what happened. It didn't, then all of a sudden, all they have to do is tell PayPal that I didn't get my snake, and like, oh, we don't handle that stuff. Here's your money back, charge back or whatever, and then you're out a snake and you're out money. Then
that's
there's a lot of shit.
Like, bro, like, you want to know? God damn it, Adler. So my boy Adler, God bless this guy, but he's been helping me so much. Like, he did my launch, my new logo launch, by the way. Hey, Doug, I'm gonna send you a shirt, by the way. Send me your address after this. I'm gonna hook you up. But
I will do, man.
My boy has been helping me. Like, he's been doing a lot. Like, he did my website. He helped me with my website. But like, hold on, what were we just talking about right now? My mind. Hold on. This happens every episode. Okay, I figured out. So, and so Adler, my boy Adler, was like, hey, MJ, so I know you want to sell shirts on your website. I have to connect your PayPal, or like, how you want people to check out. I'm like, oh, just connect my PayPal. Mind you, my PayPal was never, it was always personal. Like, and so because it's personal, I could do family and friends all day, every day. And right. Here's the thing, like, I always did family and friends. I never, like, that's like, and what happened, what fucked people is people who were either a business or they were doing both goods and services and family and friends and fucking doing like equal transactions. Well, that's what gets you on fucking PayPal's radar. That's because they're like, yo, what's going on here? And that's when they'll audit your shit, right? I always did friends and family, mainly because The one time I had a fucking stickler, I had somebody who was like, nah, I'm only doing goods and services. I was like, all right, motherfucker, you're going to pay for it. And he was willing to pay for it. But like what? I think it was like not even 2 weeks later, I get a charge back. And all the money that he sent me gets reversed because he did a fucking claim. He claimed that he supposedly never got he did something. I don't even know what the claim was about. That's what pisses me off because they asked me to provide tracking. I provide tracking. And then I had to wait 7 business days. I waited 7 business days. Then I got an email telling me that I am not winning the fucking this dispute. It's going back to the seller. And I'm like, what? I fucking couldn't believe it, bro. And I was like, you got to be shit. And then I called them, and it's some fucking asshole in India who has no idea what I'm trying to explain to them. And they're like, sorry, sir. And I'm like, what the dude? And
fucking pisses you off, right?
To get duped like that, bro. I was so fucking pissed. And that's why I was like, I used to be scared to tell people, friends and family. I said, listen, friends and family, go fuck yourself. I was like, I am credible. Go on. And, mind you, a lot of people are like, well, there are legit people who just want to be secure. But I tell them, with all due respect, I have the coolest reptile podcast in the world. Go to my Instagram. I do so much stuff where I'm not here to fucking nickel and dime you. I'm not here to fuck you over. It's easy for you to fucking expose me, and I'm not here for that. And that helped me. But fucking Adler. Add Dizzle for shizzle. He added my PayPal, and that fucking website that he designed made me switch my PayPal to an LLC. And it had to be like tax purposes. So now, basically, Zelle everything.
Yeah, no shit, right? Oh man, that stuff that sucks, man. There's a lot of, go get a fucking job. Don't be trying to scam people out of their fucking money, their hard-earned money and shit. You put time and effort into the stuff you're making and selling and all that kind of stuff, and then for somebody to just basically try to win one over so they can fucking get something free and still have their money, and it's like, get a fucking job,
It's crazy as we saw a lot of that. Like, I know you probably seen it too, but like a lot of people trying to do like GoFundMe's and like trying to like, I took in these 7-6 snakes and I don't know what to do. Like, well, fuck you, man. That's your fault, right? But also, like, you got to be mindful of almost anything happening, asking for money around the holidays, because it's kind of like watching a Sarah McLachlan fucking dog commercial. It's like, oh my God. Like, and it's like, are you even caring about this animal? And it's like the most sad thing on earth, right? But like, it's like, you don't think people hit me up and say, hey, MJ, can you put this GoFundMe on your podcast? And it's, I'm not trying to say no to be a dick, but bro, like, I don't know. First and foremost, I don't even know who you are. Never even spoken to you. And now you want me to put on this, this poor kid who has cancer or this poor situation on my channel. And I don't know the backstory. I don't fall for fraudulent shit. But the thing is, it's kind of like you should be personal with somebody if you want them to do, like, I don't know, like it's just too shady of a world out there to be giving. And I am all about giving. Trust me, I love to give. But people out there are some people just don't have no shame, bro. They don't give a fuck. And it's kind of like you out there also don't. I'm just saying, people out there, don't be duped by this shit. Don't feel like, oh my God, do I need? No, motherfucker. Like, here's the thing. No one's even really forcing you to even support USARK, but you should. Why wouldn't you want to support USARK? That's the thing. And a lot of people have the kind of like, USARK is too pushed on me because it's talked about. It's not that it's too pushed. It's just talked about. It's talked about because they're the only guys fighting for us. You know what I mean? Yep. No, your influencer isn't going to court. You know what I mean? And doing this shit that Phil and his team is doing. So everyone has choices in life. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That kind of brings so like what you said about like, the being careful of people, they're trying to push stuff, like, scamming you and all that kind of stuff. Not that this is a scam thing, but I might sound like an asshole and I say what I'm going to say. So I'm a veteran, right? I was in Iraq and stuff for a year.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
No problem. This is where I kind of have a little opposite feel that some people are probably gonna be surprised by, but like, okay, I've seen people on the side with signs that say, I'm, veteran, need food, whatever, and all this stuff. Okay, I'm like, I told my wife, I was like, okay, that guy is like in his maybe 40s, maybe early 50s. I'm like, we'll give him some food. I'm not giving him money because honestly, every fucking job in the goddamn street is hiring. There's no reason why he can't go in there and get a goddamn job if he needs money.
I mean, my dad always told me he never showed love to the young panhandlers. Like, if you're young, like, bro, come on, like you're a junkie. Like, that's it. Like, you're a junkie. But you have, you know, here in San Diego, it's a beautiful place, you know. So
Sure.
you do have people, and mind you, there's how many bases here in San Diego? Like, we have the Navy base, we have fucking the Marines, like a bunch of fucking of the affiliate fucking Marine family, or the what am I trying to say? The what's the branches? What are all the branches called? The military branches. Military branches are in San Diego. So, dude, I mean, I remember seeing, like, my dad would always show love to like the old, like ones who are crippled and shit like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's different for sure. I definitely would, you know, like, but like there's times where we'll drive by and say, hey, we just went grocery shopping and we bought whatever. Let's give them this box of, you know, breakfast bars or whatever, or, you know, whatever the hell we have. And we've done that before. But it's like, you know, we've literally, I haven't seen it personally, but I've heard of some people handing food to them and they're like, no, I want money. It's like, dude, if you want it for food anyways, there you go. They're giving you food. If you don't want to go buy alcohol with it or whatever the fuck you're going to do with it anyways, you need to get a job for that kind of shit, you know? And like the economy, like, still right now, I mean, I could literally walk down and probably get an open interview at most places in our fucking town. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude, you want to talk about, like, I always had like, oh man, sucks to be a bum, right? Like, oh, poor guys. But
yeah,
the last gym I ran, I mean, I was actually co-owner of this gym. It was in downtown San Diego. Okay. Every morning I opened up that gym, there was somebody sleeping at their fucking front doors. Like, and I couldn't open them. So I would, and you know, mind you, they're pissing right there, doing all sorts of fucking shit. And these motherfuckers, and you know, let's talk about like 6:45 a.m. I'm opening up the doors and I have to deal with this shit. And some people don't want to get up. Oh my God, bro. Like, there were times where it's like, I'm about to fuck this person up. And I'm like, I don't want to touch them. Like, they got probably fucking hepatitis C or some shit. And it's like, oh man, it's just like, I don't know. It's definitely like a choice. Some people want to just live because they don't want to have to deal with life, but you have to deal with life, man. Like, it's nothing to cop out of. Like, the more you are able to handle what life throws at you, the more you can enjoy life. But you have to go through life, bro. Like, dude, there was, man, my sister Bianca. I love my sister Bianca, but there was a time where all I had was my sister Bianca. Like, there was a time where none of my family wanted to talk to me. They didn't want to help me. Like, when I was down, all I had was my sister Bianca. And only because, you know, she wasn't anywhere where she could help, but she always figured a way to help me. Like, she took me into her house one time. I lived with her for 3 months. And I will never forget that. And mind you, I'm the only boy out of my family. I have 2 sisters, and I always wanted to take care of my sisters. I always told myself, I'm going to take care of my sisters. You know what I mean? So I had to live through points of my life where my sister was taking care of me nonstop. And here I am. And this is when I was like 28 years old. Like, this wasn't like, it was less than 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Right. I was living on her couch. Not even. I was living in this little Harry Potter closet. She had a closet that was like, bro, it was weird. She could fit a twin bed in there, but that was it. And I slept in there. I'm not joking. I slept in there, bro. And I was still like DJing, making it seem like I had the life. But no, it was the most rock bottom I've ever been, bro. But I always knew there's something out there I'm going to be happy for. And man, mind you, I DJ'd for another 5 years after being that. And what's crazy is I kind of got on my feet, but I didn't. I kept fucking going back and forth until I got to the snake game, man. The snake game saved me. I'm not joking when I say this. The snake game saved my life. My wife saved my life. But there was multiple things that led to me being where I'm at. And mind you, I'm a big piece of work still, bro. Like, I'm not, I'm still learning, bro. I have my moments, but at the end of the day, I know what I'm capable of, and I know what I want to be. I want to be the best version of myself. And that happens with time. You know what I mean? But I don't think I would ever be in this place if I wasn't meeting people like you and meeting other homies and meeting other people I could just vibe with. I feel like I used to be and sometimes I am very anti-people, but I'm not anti-snake people. Snake people are my people. Like, these are people that I need, that keep me going. And I feel like no matter what you do out there, you find the people that love that you do, and it keeps the motors going. Man, sometimes I kind of wish my wife had the kind of friendships I had with all these fucking people. Like, because my wife grinds, bro. She works, goes to the gym, has a couple friends at the gym, and then comes home. Like me, I grind, but I'm on the phone the whole time. Sometimes I'm talking to people every day of the week. Like, it's like, I fucking love what I do, bro. Like, I'm obsessed, but I'm obsessed because I let it get to that point where this obsession is actually helping me go further. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's kind of like that point of obsession you're looking to get when you're in a place where you're finally fruitful and things are just happening for you. You know what I mean?
Right. It's like a healthy obsession still, like, and it's helping motivate you and keep moving you forward and stuff like that. That's
maybe people ask me like, MJ, how do you do 4 podcasts a week? I'm like, fuck, I'm looking to do 6 in 2023. I don't know. I want, why not do more? You know, what's funny. One of the funny things that I feel like people, I'm nothing against them, but I get this question asked by more of the older heads, and they go, MJ, are you ever worried about things to talk about? No. Are you kidding me? Because first and foremost, okay, if you and I were to go 7 hours tonight, probably hit a point where we're like, what else are we going to talk about, man? It's been 7 hours. Maybe not, right? But that right there I could see. But if it's somebody else, somebody different, it's a whole nother topic. It's a whole nother vibe. It's like, I have questions that come into my head when it's a new person that I never had with you because it's a different person. So, dude, never like, and maybe I'm just gifted with that, but I will never, ever run out of things to talk about. If it's somebody I have on that I love what we do, we got to have this fucking connection. You know what I mean?
Right. It's a different experience every time, right?
Every time, bro. Like, I mean, like I said, like, this is why I was never hesitant to start a new breed on the block series, but I always thought, like, I don't think it's going to be as sick as Thursday, but bro, Mondays are cracking, bro. Like, I'm saying, I mean, shit, we've been at 70 people. We're at 65 right now. We're 65, 70 people on an average Monday night. You know what I mean? Like, this ain't nothing, you know, but still it kicks off and it's something great, but also it's like you and I are having great conversations of something I wouldn't have to someone who's not in your shoes. Everyone has different shoes on, bro. Like,
exactly,
you know, and what's crazy is how much of a great topic of you coming into the game, getting over, like, you know, way ahead of yourself, and you had to check yourself, depart, and now you're back in it again, and here you are.
Right. Now, you know, aspirations to doing
with the family. How many kids you got, bro?
Fucking 5, man.
What? 5 kids?
Yeah. That's I don't want to say that that's what held me back, but
5 kids, dog. Okay, Doug.
Well, so
how many kids did you have with you at Tinley when we met?
When I met you, this last Tinley, right? That was just my one daughter was with me, and that was it.
Okay.
So okay.
Hold on. Check this out, guys.
Right.
I was doing interviews at Justin Gabelka's table, Clutch, at his Clutch booth. And I saw the homie Doug right there. He's like, hey, MJ, I just want to meet you real quick. I'm like, what's up, Doug? We met each other. We said hi, blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. So I go back, do my interviews. And then I want to say not even 10 minutes later, I hear this on the intercom. Doug Knacker, we have your child here at the check-in booth. Please come collect her or we will let her go in the USARK auction. Dude, so I was like, Doug, where's your child, bro? And dude, that shit was funny, dude.
She was actually trying to. She was trying to. What's that?
You found her, right?
Yeah. No. I think she might know. She's still there. I think she got the Arlington auction. You know, no. It was like her first Tinley that she'd ever gone to with me, and you know, she had a blast. But so my boy is like the oldest one is just turned 21, right? And
what, dude? Yeah. You look so young, Doug.
40.
Okay, so you had a kid at 19. That's pretty young.
Well, so actually, he's actually my stepson. That's my wife's son.
Okay.
So I had but I wasn't too much farther behind that. When I had my 2 boys with my ex-wife. So when I was in the military, I had both my boys when I was in the military, and then so they're age 20 and 18 right now. And then my wife and I that I'm with right now. So my wife and I have been together for 13 years now. We've been married for 10. And we have 2 girls together. So ages 10 and 4. But yeah, I mean, it's a fucking Brady bunch, you know?
I mean, come on, let's talk about a very important topic that I don't like sugarcoating, because there's a lot of people who, like, here's the thing, man. God damn it, I got a wife who supports me. Not a lot of people have support. We were talking about earlier when we were in the sound check time of this, where your ex-wife almost kept you or did keep you from kind of doing what it is that you were trying to do. And if you could explain more of that, or because there's a fork in the road that comes in a place in time, right? So let's talk about that.
So my ex-wife and I split up in like 2006. So even before I got into the ball python stuff, and that was one of those things where, I mean, I was busting my ass. I always had a job or more, or 2 or 3 jobs or whatever. So I was always doing something. I'm a freaking Leo, so I guess we like to work a lot or whatever, you know. But anyways, child support, just trying to rail on that child support. I literally, when I lost my job, I mentioned when I had to get out of the ball pythons that first time, and lost my job, I was, at that time, it was hard to find a job. So I was putting applications in everywhere. Right. And I got about 2 months behind in child support. And like I said, I was selling ball pythons to help pay the bills and shit. And my wife that is now, we were just married at that point in time, but my ex-wife took me to court because I was 2 months behind in child support. And she goes, the judge is like, well, can you make you make 4 separate payments of what your back pay is along with your current payments if we give you this time frame? I said, yes, I should be able to do that. And they asked my ex, they're like, do you have any objection to that? And my ex-wife goes, yeah, I don't think he's gonna make those payments and stuff. Can we just put him in jail now?
What?
And I was, and the judge actually bitched her out. He was like, he said he's gonna try. You can't just say that you think he's not gonna be able to do it. He has to be. We have to give him the benefit of the doubt that he'll make the effort to make these payments. If he doesn't make the payments, then we will get a court order to come get him or whatever and stuff like that, and put a, whatever that's called, for them to come and take you into jail and shit. But I was like, what a fucking bit. My wife, because I talked a lot of shit about my ex-wife to my wife, and she's like, well, yeah, he's over exaggerating it a little bit. And then she's like, wow, you were not over exaggerating about your ex-wife. She's just a major fucking cunt. So yeah, it was pretty bad, but that's what I deal with.
It could get hairy, man. It could get very like something to where, like, man, I bet you wish you could just think of the snakes, but you can't. You have all this fucking like
always
tormented, and it's like the extra shit. I gotta tell you, man, like, yeah, it was scary when I went on medical leave, right? So I was. Yep. It's funny, bro. Like, if you would have known how I was throughout my whole life, and then you were to hear that I was a general manager at an Office Depot, you would have been like, "What, MJ? Like a general manager at a retail center? Like, in a retail center, mind you, it's a dip. Like, God bless people who work in retail, but holy shit, like." The only retail I ever did was with Verizon, and I made my own fucking commission. I killed it. You know what I mean? But then obviously a time came to where I left Verizon, tried to do the DJ thing. DJ thing didn't work out. So I went to the gym thing, and gym thing was okay, but then the gym thing didn't work out. And then I was like desperate. I was like, because here's the thing. I told you I was trying to grasp onto something that could just let me keep the snakes. I didn't want to have to give up the snakes. And my wife was like so lenient with me. There was times where my wife covered some of my part of the rent. Oh my God. There were so many times where she came through and I had to convince her, please just keep doing this. And she would tell me, all right, motherfucker, if you don't got it together by this time, then you need to start selling shit. Right.
Right.
So like, I jumped on this job, this fucking Office Depot general manager job. And it was the most depressed, most like, okay, like I know I had the rock bottom part when I lived with my sister and I was doing drugs and shit like that, but now I was not doing drugs, but I was legitimately depressed because everything I was doing every day. Like I was literally like waking up, taking showers, trying to convince myself this is what you need to do. And then as soon as I walked through those doors, it was like fucking like a storm came over me, because I went from having to just worry about myself. And what I mean by that, like I was really good at Verizon because I sold the shit out of cell phones. I could sell the shit and maximize how to make money. And back then there was no cap in the cell phone game. You could make a shit ton of money. So I made a lot of money. So then I go into, and by the way, I sold with no empathy. I didn't give a fuck if you had a 4-year-old with you. That 4-year-old's getting a tablet 100%. Or like I'm gonna fucking sell everything. Whoever's with you, they're all getting something, right? Didn't give a fuck about nothing but the money. Okay.
Right.
And then that only got so far. But then I go to the gym industry, right? And the gym industry, dude, I was 260 pounds. I was pretty big. I lost a lot of weight. I was really caught into the gym life. The gym life was like, dude, this is life changing. But then I was also selling memberships and selling personal training. Mind you, the selling memberships ain't shit. The gym didn't give a fuck if you sold memberships. The gym cares if you sell personal training. That's where the money's at.
Sure.
But selling personal training is not easy. I can tell you right now, like for you to sit down with a big beefy person and have to break down their flaws and tell them how they're liars to themselves, woo, that could get, dude, you know what's crazy? I was so good at this shit that they would keep a box of Kleenex at my desk, because 9 out of 10 people, they would not only would sign up, but they would be crying. They'd be like, oh my God, you're so right. And I just, and not that I was trying to like that was the one time where I was selling with a true heart. Like I was like, I'm only telling you this because this is where I was. I would show pictures of my body and be like, this is what I'm trying to change. And it was coming from a good place. And that's when I learned a little bit of the empathy, right? Like that's where I was like, oh my God, like I did sell this training package and yeah, I'm getting money, but I did help this person. I actually helped the person, you know? So
right.
it was a different type of like, kind of like, oh my God, this is cool. But nothing has felt so rewarding ever in my life helping somebody out since coming into the snake game. This is where I really get a fucking hard on, bro. Like I love helping people because, dude, we need more people in this. Like we are up against a huge uphill battle against motherfuckers who don't want this to happen for us. Okay.
Right.
So the reason why I'm so passionate about USARK is because what did I just say? Where I came from a rock bottom place. And because of the animals, my beautiful wife, look where I'm at. Okay. The only thing worse than saying you're going to take away my animals is saying you're going to take away my wife. That's it. Okay.
Right.
But what I'm trying to say is, first and foremost, if you could take away my wife, good luck. She ain't leaving. She ain't leaving me. I'm sorry. It ain't going to happen. So that's out the fucking game. You think you're going to take my animals? No, I'm sorry. Nah, good luck. I will go to war for this fucking shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I also know I need to support who we need to support. And we need more people in this, bro. We need more people in this.
That's why I got at the local shows, like I was mentioning, you know, a lot of times the people that are there.
Hey, Doug, who's calling you right now? Unless it's your wife, she's cool. But if it's not your wife, if it's a snake friend, who was it?
That's my wife.
Oh, she's cool. She's cool.
Yeah, I told her it's gonna be a couple hours.
Yeah, we're almost done. We're almost done, wife. I swear to God, we got 2 more topics and we're done. Okay, thank God. Do you know what's funny is sometimes you got, and this happens on the New Breed on the Block series a lot. Okay, sometimes some motherfuckers will be on the show and their friends will be like blowing them up while they're on the show, and it's like, bro, let them fucking do their thing. Like, why are you like? So I had to make sure there ain't no like other people trying to.
Yeah.
Your wife is the only green flag on that is your wife. On
as I say, everybody else should know they should be tapped into Trap Talk right now. So they, you know what I mean?
I mean, listen. At the end of the day, this is why I do what I. This is why I love what I do, because I'm not loved by everyone, and I don't want to be loved by everyone because I'm not here to fucking make everyone happy. I don't give a fuck if I don't make you happy. I do what I do. You know what I mean? And the thing is, I love, you know who you are. You know who you are out there. Shit, Doug, you might be one of these people. But I love the people who fuck with me, even though they have friends that don't fuck with me. I got to say, because everyone has different personalities, okay? And that, at the end of the day, my personality is not meant to be liked by everyone, okay? And that's okay, because there's people out there that I don't even need to know their personality. I could tell by the way they look. I could tell just with their hairstyle, and I could just tell by their fucking, like, some people just have the worst look on their face where, like, I don't even want to fucking know you. I can already tell you're going to be the biggest bitch. I don't want nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? So
talking about my ex right now, aren't you?
Bro,
I didn't know you knew her.
Oh my God. But some people, I mean, as I'm saying, like, I'm very good at the energy reading. Like, when I could just tell, like, I don't want nothing to do with that fucking person. I'm good. Sometimes I like being proven wrong. Like, I've had people who I thought I'm never going to want to talk to this person. And then we're at a show or we're at a Tinley and they come up and I'm like, oh, wow, you're nothing I thought that you were. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this is also why, like, I don't ever take anyone too serious who tries to be a fucking figure in the game if they're not going to shows. Like, if you're not going to shows, shut the fuck up. Like, you're not really tapped into this hobby if you're not going to shows.
Well, that's actually, like, to bring back what I was going to say before about the shows thing, even though the local shows, I'm not selling like super high end stuff there. However, is some of the most freaking rewarding shit though is when somebody comes by and like the kid's like, oh, I'm kind of scared, but I want to hold on. Can I hold it? And then like the parents are kind of nervous or scared. And next thing you know, everybody in the family is holding it, and they're like, "Yeah, what would we need to have to buy one of these? What do we need?" And I tell them, "Here, there's you got terrariums over there. You can get a terrarium. It's obviously a lot of times as a pet, you're not going to get a rack, But like, so I'll kind of tell them what they would need, different things. And it's like next thing you know, now you just brought somebody into, the hobby. Basically, hey, now they have a pet snake. Now they're gonna, understand what these reptiles are like and why we love them so damn much, And that's some of the
it all starts with the kid, bro. Like, listen, it all started when I was a kid. I'm sure it started when actually it didn't start when you were a kid.
Yeah,
it started when you're 27.
No.
But that's also still important. Like, hello,
but that was a big part of it too. I think the reason why I was afraid is because like people would be like, "Oh, it's a fucking snake," and then they tried to scare me with it and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that if I go back to the times I was little, that's probably I think my dad kind of tried scaring me as shit because he thought, "Oh, don't be a pussy," and then I guess I was until I was 27. I was a pussy until I was 27, afraid of snakes and shit, So, fuck.
I mean, you got a boy. Like, let's say, first and foremost, how do all 5 of your kids feel about the snakes?
So Damien, he's the oldest one. He's the one that's 21. So when he was like, I don't know, fucking 9 or so. I think he was like 8 or 9. Okay. He's the one that got me to hold on to a snake for the very first time. Why we even went to Petco to get some. And it was like a fire belly or red belly or whatever they're called, just out of the wild. He had it in a little jar. He had me hold on to it. He really wanted to have a snake. And my exact words to my wife were, "There'll never be a fucking snake in our house." I said that to her. And because my wife didn't really care. She didn't like want a snake, but she didn't really not want a snake. She didn't really care either way. But yeah, we went to Petco, and then, like I said, the rest was kind of history. They had me hold on to a boa, and it was like, fuck, this is cool. So, but yeah, the boys have gone to Tinley's with me and stuff. Before my girls were born, they were there. They used to have like where you can like sit on that alligator. What's his face?
That's the OG Tinley days, right? From when before my time. That's before my time. Not gonna lie.
Oh shit! I don't have the picture down here, but that was they didn't even have his fucking mouth banded shut. They had my kid sitting on the alligator without the mouth banded shut. I'll take a picture. I'll scan it and maybe post it on Instagram or some shit.
Yeah, please do.
But I mean, shit. This is my wife at a Tinley that we went to. I mean, this is she was holding on to a boa. I don't know if it will zoom in and stuff, but she was like cool with it and everything, So, it's just she doesn't really care for the stuff now. Doesn't help out with any of it, but she doesn't mind me doing it, which is different than 4 or 5, 6 years ago or whatever it was when she was basically seeing what it was kind of doing to me or how I was responding to it. And like, she's like, "I fucking hate your snakes. I want you to get rid of them or we're done," type thing. So, yeah.
I mean, listen, it just, at the end of the day, it's like, man, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing if you're still up to the old same Doug. Like, you were able to, you had to figure shit out. And as much as it hurts sometimes, and that's how it is, life is, here's the thing, man, there's people who've never been hurt in life. They avoid it. They're so good at avoiding things that get hurt. And what I mean by that, there are probably people out there, not even guys, but just girls too, who stick with people who just treat them like shit. Like, there are people out there whose relationships are so bad, but they're like, "I don't want to be alone," or like, "I don't want to go do this again." And it's like, dude, you're going to settle for this shit? Like, you're going to live like this? And man, I'm lucky that I did fall in love at like a young age, because that was like, I did sacrifice something in my very first love. I remember graduating high school.
Sure.
I had the opportunity to go down to San Diego and play baseball, but I did what I had to do to stay in Washington because of a girl. And of course, because of that girl, I said, fuck going back to San Diego, living with my dad and having everything paid for. I'm going to stay up here and try to figure it out. And boy, that was one of the worst mistakes I ever figured out. But I drove, like, mind you, like, I'll never forget, I was 19 years old and I had such a mental breakdown because I got hurt in baseball. My scholarship was fucked. I found out all this money I need to pay in order to stay around. And I was like crying over it. And I was like, and then at that time, like, me and the girl I was with were really like kind of rocky. So here I am just stranded in fucking Washington like an idiot. Okay. Did I fucking stay in Washington and be a miserable fuck and just be a fucking nothing? No. I was like, fuck this shit. I am fucking out. Even though I kind of like should have did this straight out of high school, I could do this now. And I fucking dipped the fuck out. And I always had a standard since then. Like I always knew like, I ain't going to let this fucking love of my life ever stop me from doing what I wanted to do. And that's when everything changed with MJ. I always did MJ from that point on. And, but you know, you just gotta, man, you gotta do you, man. You can't stop doing what you want to do in life, because that's when everything in life stops. That's when your purpose, like think about your children feed off your energy. If you are motivated and you're fucking, hey kids, and like, oh, you know, okay, maybe that's a little much, but maybe if you're just like all about life, they'll be all about life. I gotta tell you, my dad loved my dad to death, and my mom, love them both, but they were always about life. Like I was like always happy as a child, you know, like, you know, and mind you, I was so happy as a child to when they got a divorce, it was hard for me. And that's kind of when MJ kind of went fucking holy shit, you know what I mean? Sure. But I gotta say, man, I never, as much as I wish I didn't go through certain things in life, I take on the challenges in life. Bring it the fuck on. As much as it's going to break me down and crush me, dude, we are meant for this shit. Us humans are built to be broken down and to be built back up. That's how this world has been built. So you got to embrace it, man. You just got to embrace it.
Yeah, definitely. Breaking down and building back up. That's like military 101 right there. That's what they did right when they get in basic training. They like break it down to build you back up and all that kind of shit, you know. So
baseball really was my like, man, I like I said, I'm not joking when I say I cheated my way through math since 8th grade. I think, was it algebra? Like what happens in middle school? I don't know. There was something in middle school where I was like, I don't get this, and I didn't even want to bother studying for it. So I figured out how to cheat, and I got really good at cheating. And so I cheated my way through math all the way through like past fucking high school, bro. Straight fucking cheated that shit. So I always felt because I cheated, but mind you, like I was good at English. I liked reading. It was just math. I hated fucking math. I hated it with a passion. And I hated it so bad that I was willing to risk it all to cheat. And I cheated my way to a B- or higher every fucking year. Didn't matter. Okay. But let's speed things up to, you know, having to learn shit, right? And I got to a point in life where if it wasn't for baseball, I would have never been accepted in any college. Like I was only like, I had baseball to be good at, to where like, okay. And I did, I'm not trying to toot my horn, but I did 1180 on the SATs. My SATs were pretty respectable. Okay. So that being said, my dad had different thoughts. My dad was like, son, I really want you to join the Air Force. And I was like, what? He's like, just take this test and see what happens. Okay. The ASVAB, or what's it called? Yep, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? I was like, okay, whatever. And I was told by many people that this test was hard. And so I was like, I don't give a fuck. And I remember I hit just the criteria. I think it was a 73% I hit. And it was like just the bare minimum to hit for Air Force. And I was like, and they're like, dude, you did it. And they wanted to give me an offer letter and all this shit. And I remember like looking up back then, like it was like, it wasn't Google, it was Yahoo, right? But you had ways to look up videos back then. And I was watching boot camps. And I was like, no one's going to yell at me like this. I was like, you kidding me? I was like, fuck this shit. And I literally said, and my dad was heartbroken because my dad thought I was going to do it. And my dad, he's the biggest Mexican American you ever meet. He's dark as shit, but he will flip off somebody with a front BC plate. Like if you're cutting him off and you're not in this country, he's going to be like, get the fuck out of my country. That's my dad. Like my dad. So I think in his eyes, a dream, if I couldn't go pro in baseball, which mind you, I was very far from, even though I thought I was going to go there back then, my dad knew I wasn't going to go. So he was like, dude, Air Force, please. Like, but I couldn't handle that discipline, man. There's no way. I wanted to do me. I didn't want to get yelled at, but man, I can't imagine what my life would have been. I mean, which I'm happy because look, I mean, everything happens for a reason, but man, the Air Force, like, I mean, fuck, like what would have thought? I don't know though. Also too, I mean, I did get the lowest like accepting percentage. So I probably would have got a really bad job too. Right. I would think,
you know what? That kind of depends too, because like, like I was in artillery and I got a pretty freaking decent score because I could have went to West Point College or whatever. Like, but because I was married, that's one of the criteria that you can't go to West Point if you have kids or are married.
Wow.
And I had a kid and I was married. So, but yeah, I can't remember the exact criteria on that shit, but I know my dad prepared me for the military though, the way he was. My dad.
Here's the thing, like my dad, my dad literally lived through me. I'm the better version, even though my dad's cooler than me. If you meet my dad, you'd be like, oh, MJ, your dad's way cooler than you. And I agree. My dad is fucking cool as fuck, but I was a lot more talented than my dad. I can tell you that right now. And I'll show you. I got trophies and everything to prove it. But my dad lived through me. Like he fucking was like, he had another chance at life through me, which luckily it worked out because me and my dad were like, whatever he liked, I like. I'm a very spitting image of my pops. You know what I mean? But you know, I just always followed what I wanted to do, man. And Doug, I mean, even DJing. Like, let's talk about. We haven't even talked about DJing. And I will never stop DJing. I don't give a fuck. Right. I could say, oh, I don't do that no more. But when somebody calls me up, MJ, hey, and you know, it's funny. I love my best friend. I love my friends, man. But when they get married or something, they don't want nobody else to DJ but me because I just got the fucking hits. But I also tell you, I love playing music for people who dance. Like it's like you know it. It's like
addictive, man.
Oh, it's fucking awesome, bro. And it's something I can never give up. You know what I mean? But even though there's times where, you know, you do weddings and you're like, God damn, like things aren't going in your way and you're like, it's stressful. There's times where, you know, either sound or something or just there's an issue. Like how many times are there issues at events, right?
Yeah. You know, like I did this one wedding and stuff, and there was like hardly anybody dancing the whole fucking night. I'm like, Jesus Christ! I'm playing off of like the request list they kind of have. I'm putting my own spin on shit, and then I go up to them and they're like, "You're doing an awesome job. Everybody's loving it." And I'm like,
"What? They're like, I don't see it." You're like,
"Yeah." I'm like, I
drugs or something. Like, can we fucking start passing shit around?
I'm like, "Oh, okay," because I was just gonna see if you wanted me to change. If you think that there's a certain kind of music that they like, oh no, they're loving it and stuff. It's just we don't really like to dance anyways. It's like
you're like, well, I'm gonna go with the electric slide. Okay, let's see what happens.
No, dude, that's the thing, dude. I did the Cupid shuffle. There was 5 people doing the Cupid shuffle.
Hey, I'll take that, man.
I was like, oh man, yeah.
Nothing worse is when you play a song that's requested and nobody dances to it, and you're like, what the fuck? I didn't want to play this. Just so you know, I did not want to play this.
Oh yeah, I know. I've had it before for sure. I've had before. This one time there was this bride and groom. They said no requests from the guests, and we want you to go off of our playlist. Pretty much keep it to this. And there was like some shit on there. I'm like, fuck, this is gonna kill the dance floor. And sure shit, it kind of did. Like, and then like people were like, hey, why can you play this? I'm like, I'm not supposed to take requests. They said no requests for the night. Yeah. It's like, you know, obviously they're paying me, so I'm gonna do what they want, but it's like at that point it's beyond me, you know, out of my hands kind of thing. So
oh man, one thing that I love to do is blame the Wi-Fi. I say, sorry guys, I don't have that song in the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, yep.
What do you want me to do? Yep. Or what I'll say is I'll just go. I'll just agree with them. Okay, yeah, sure, no problem. Get the fuck out of here. Yep. Oh my god. But that's also like, I don't know, man. Like I went from enjoying the weddings and the parties to like I got picked up by DMAC Records in 2011 and I started doing raves. And when I started doing raves, I was like, that means nobody requests anything at a rave. You do your fucking thing. Nobody can even talk to you. So that made me so much more in love with DJing. It was when I was actually doing stuff where
kind of your own thing.
But guess what? Was I getting paid like a wedding? Nope, not at all. I was getting like every big event. I think I did Beyond Wonderland. I did BPM Festival 2 years in a row, and nothing has got me paid more than a wedding.
Really?
And that, yeah.
I would have thought a raves would.
No, because I wasn't the main attraction. Like I was never the headliner. You know what I mean?
You and David Guetta or anything like that.
No. Dude, I've opened up some big DJs before, but they don't pay the fucking openers the money. You know what I mean? That's the headliners. But it also gives you the clout. The thing is, I had clout. Like I was connect. Like the way I don't want to say like, oh, I'm Mr. Somebody connected in the Reptile game, but you motherfuckers know I'm connected to the Reptile game. I was also really connected in the music game. And the thing was, I was getting, you know, I was connected, but not connected to labels. Like meaning, like I was connected, but I'm not getting paid. Like I was around all the paid motherfuckers. I looked good. I looked good, but was my bank account good? No, not at all. So it was like kind of living a life that wasn't really, it was kind of fucked up. Like I wanted it so bad, but also I didn't have money for studio time. I wasn't putting in actual production time. Like it was a whole grind. It's kind of like these people, like this is why I can't stand some of these fucking YouTubers out there, but you have YouTubers who solely make content off other people's collections. They solely make content off going around doing shit. But what do they have? Nothing. They're just fucking, what are you? Like you're a gimmick. And so I was eventually I wasn't really a gimmick because I actually provided drugs for all these motherfuckers too. So I will say I did provide a purpose, but I wish, I'm not gonna lie, there was times where I wish I was that headliner. I wish I was my boy. Like I wish I was that guy. Every single time I always thought I wish, and I never thought I could attain it because of my work ethic. But in this game, I don't wish to be anybody but who I am. I will tell you, the people I wish I am someday are people who are no longer living in this game. And that's fucking Rico Wilder. You know, he's somebody who was producing emeralds and green trees to the point where he had them all on his table at shows. Nobody's doing that nowadays. You don't ever see that shit. So, I mean, if anything, I hope I could be somebody at that point in my life where I'm leaving a legacy like that behind. But I mean, I'm so happy now, bro. Like I said, the snake game saved me, bro. That's all I gotta say on that.
Oh, so kind of like to tie in the DJ stuff with the snake stuff for me, you know, like, okay, this year alone, I had 35 weddings, which in Wisconsin in the wintertime, there's really not a whole lot of weddings going on. People don't want to deal with the weather and all that kind of shit a whole lot. Some people want to have a winter wedding because it looks pretty and all that kind of stuff, but a lot of people don't want to mess with the BS and family traveling and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, that's the DJ and stuff's definitely helped with my snake stuff and being able to help feed that a little bit. You know, I'm getting deposits for weddings for next year and into 2024 and all that kind of stuff. And then, you know, a lot of times I'll use the deposit to kind of help supplement the, you know, okay, yeah, let's, you know, I got to buy rats anyways. Let's use a deposit for that. And, you know, because I work a full-time job also outside. So I work a full-time job working between 40 to 50 hours.
Doing what?
It's called Bay Towel. It's kind of like, you ever heard of Cintas or Aramark? Like they do like delivery of like uniforms and rugs and towels and linens and shit like that. So it's like a rental company, but they like deliver the stuff to the places. So like industrial places will get like shop towels and uniforms for their employees. Like we supply that stuff for them. We pick up their dirty shit and bring them the new shit. And then next week it's the same thing. It's kind of a rotating thing. So I work for a company called Bay Towel. It's just a Wisconsin owned one. So I do that. It's, you know, physical job or whatever. But I start when I want to start. My day is a route job. So it's some days I get done earlier. Some days I have to get done later, depending on how my route runs. So, but we went to 4-day work weeks. So that's Tuesday through Friday. Like I said, it's about 40 to 50 hours though in those 4 days. And then I have usually a wedding on Saturday that I'm doing all that kind of shit. Sunday kind of recovering, you know what I mean? You know how it is. Day after wedding or whatever, usually a little bit of recovery time because you're tired, you're worn out. And then, so yeah, I spend as much time down here with the snakes as I can, but I also obviously want to not avoid the family like I used to do back in the day. That was a big part of the whole thing with my wife was, you know, I wasn't spending any time with the kids, wasn't doing shit with anybody. I would work and then I would come home and do the snakes. Work, snakes, and that was it.
Yeah.
So, but now it's different. Like I said, it's I'm trying to implement my family into as much of it as I can and stuff like that. My girls love the snakes, but they're not down here all the time neither. Though they come down every so often and all that kind of shit. So,
I mean, think about what makes a man be a man or a woman be a woman is the experiences they go through in life. And if it wasn't for your experiences, Doug, you wouldn't be Hissy Fits 3.0, motherfucker. Like, we got
right?
Go out right now, man. So I got a wrap-up question for you before we get into some hot seat questions.
Sure.
You know, Barczyk has said this on a podcast of mine that really kind of made some other big breeders actually contact me and say, like, hey, why did Barczyk say that? He's scaring people and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, Barczyk's biggest advice for anyone out there making good money in the ball python game is not to put all your money back into the ball python game. Like, you should probably dabble into other shit. And I'm curious if that's something that you're doing, or what do you have in thought of that? If we could kind of make you in that position? Let's just say 5 years from now, you're making all the money that Hissy Fits could be making. What would you feel like you'd be wanting to do with that money?
Yeah, definitely getting into more of the investment side. I haven't really looked a lot into it, but I know a lot of people are doing like, in the investments. So that would be, yeah, the thing is too, is I know I'm not going to be able to physically hump my DJ shit around, there's a lot of equipment and everything,
Bro.
I'm looking at maybe eventually down the line, maybe, starting it where I can hire other DJs and then have my service and stuff like that, where that I'm more of a boss, owner, manager of it than I am actually hands-on.
Right.
Still do hands-on stuff if I can, but kind of invest into something like that as well, to keep things going and keep things rolling. So that way I don't have to be completely out of it.
Right.
So, because there's always a need for DJs. I feel like there's more weddings going on than there are DJs available for that shit.
Well, how about you and I work on our very first collab? And you want to know what I could use your help with, bro?
What's that?
And I'm dead serious. You and I could do this together. Animal Con 2023. Okay. We're talking about you and me back to back playing at the VIP party. And the speakers, everything's there. Here's the thing. Let me finish. I'm going to even bring my decks. I'll have all my decks. All I need is your thumbnail, buddy. Or not your thumbnail. My bad. Your thumbstick. I'm such a YouTuber. I can't believe it. I called the thumbstick a thumbnail. But all you need is your thumbstick, man. What do you play on? What are you on CDJs or
yeah, I had the DDJ 1000.
So you're on Record Box already.
So actually I do virtual. I know people don't like virtual DJ. I use virtual DJ because of
how do you use virtual DJ on your Pioneer?
Yeah.
How the fuck did you do that? Dude, virtual DJ is the very first software I ever used.
Oh, really? I fucking love virtual
2006, I think it was. I couldn't believe it.
You don't have to pay for all the shit extra. Like the Serato, you got to pay for all the extra shit. Record Box, sometimes you got to pay for the extra shit. So I can do like video and all that kind of stuff with no extra charge to it. And you get their free updates. But no, as long as the controllers have been out and long enough for virtual DJ to implement it into their system, you just got to make sure you have the latest update. It has to be a
current controller. It has to be up to date.
Yeah, yep.
That's sick. Oh my God.
There's some features that don't work with it and stuff, but yeah.
But you're comfortable using Record Box.
I've used Record Box a few times, but usually it's virtual DJ. But
we'll need you to get some practice on Record Box before the Animal Con. But bro, listen, we didn't really talk about Animal Con much, but man, I do feel like Animal Con is the future of this hobby, because if you want to talk about one state that's hurting more than anything, that's Florida. Florida is one state that needs more reptile keepers helps more than anything. So guys, go support USARK Florida, please. Not only the USARK, but USARK Florida needs our help. Go support USARK Florida. But bro, man, I got to tell you, man, if I didn't know the potential of this Animal Con after party until I was there, and they were playing my mixes. They were playing my mix on speakers, but bro, we could have been there mixing shit up. There was over 100 people at that VIP party. So we could have had shit cracking. You know what I mean? So what's up, bro? If I get it booked, let's make this happen, bro. Let's go back to back at Animal Con. Let's fucking rip shit. Let's play some Garth Brooks.
Actually, I have a pretty cool Friends in Low Places mix that I have a remix of it or whatever. But
yeah, hey, listen.
Well, but no.
2 hours went by very fast. Thank you so much. Tell your wife I said thank you for having you. Let you do this. I appreciate it. But we got these hot seat questions before I let you go, though. Okay, so hot seat questions for the homie Doug. Guys, what are we at with I didn't ask anybody hit the likes up, but where are we at with the likes? Let's see what's going on. Where are we at with Doug tonight? 72 likes. I'll take that, because we had just about a little over 70 watchers. So we're at 100 right there. We'll take that. Thank you so much for all the likes. Never too late to get the likes up. But guys, here we go. Hot seat questions for Doug Knacker. Hissy Fit Reptiles. You ready for these, Doug?
I'm ready. No GAP style, right?
No, please. We don't even have time for that shit. Here we go. Coming in hot. Frozen Thought or live?
Frozen Thought.
Egg cut or no cut?
Egg cut.
On what day?
Currently 55. I used to do 52. Not gonna lie.
Red Chondro Neo or yellow Chondro Neo?
Red. I don't know a lot about the red. I don't know about the chondro stuff a whole lot, but I see a little red chondro thing. Those look badass.
Least favorite ball python morph?
Let's go with let's go I'll cheat on this one. Caramel albino.
I mean, I don't even like the sound of that. I mean, I'm
Caramel albino was the ones with all those problems and shit.
Jesus Christ. Let's go with that. How about this? Favorite codom in the ball python game?
Favorite codom in the ball python game? Ooh, let's go. I'm gonna go mahogany. I just some of the mahogany stuff out there is pretty sweet.
Pre-first shed meal or post-first shed meal?
Post.
Yay imports or boo imports?
Yeah.
One reptile you would import to your collection, no matter what it is, what would it be?
What the hell was that? There's that crocodile skink looking thing. I can't remember what the hell that thing.
The red eye crocodile.
Yeah, that thing is freaking badass.
What about one reptile nobody should ever import? Leave it alone. Don't touch it.
Probably like a black mamba or something like that.
I mean, I ain't mad at that. To spray a ball python or to not spray a ball python?
Shit, they've been in the rain before, right? Spray them.
Right? Hello,
it's
they get
it's
rain.
just like rain.
Bro, they're in damp ground sometimes. I don't get why people don't spray their fucking ball python.
I mean,
the only time I could feel like, okay, you don't need to spray them is if you're like in a fucking very cold area and you get really good humidity. Okay, right. I guess. But still, like they get wet. They get wet. It's like, okay, how about you never showered, motherfucker? How would you
right.
Fucking idiots, dude.
Yeah.
Baseball or football?
Football.
Favorite football team?
The Packers.
How do you feel about Brett Favre and his fucking did that hurt you guys though? Because Brett Favre is my boy, bro. But then like, holy shit, you stole that money? It's like,
yeah, I know.
Wow.
So, still loved him as a player though. He was awesome.
Hey, cheesehead though, man. Let's go Packs.
Bro. Right.
Go Packs. Big flexor or no flexor?
Not really a flexor, no.
Steak or fish?
Steak.
Van Halen or Sammy Hagar?
Man. I go Van Halen, I guess. Come on. I don't mind either. I'm good with both, but Van Halen.
Rip off, bro. Van Halen, bro. Come
right. On. But I don't know. There's still a couple Sammys.
There's some hits. Don't get me wrong, but come on, it's Van Halen. It's
right.
West Coast rapper, East Coast rap?
West Coast.
Favorite West Coast rapper of all time?
Snoop D-O-double-G. He is freaking the man.
Revert. Favorite West Coast ball python breeder of all time?
Favorite West Coast ball python breeder of all time?
Yeah, it's a new one.
Oh boy. Let me see.
It's getting hot. It's getting hot.
This
poor man's sick too. It's getting hot.
Right. No, the temperature is going up, man. Oh man,
let's go. There's plenty. There's plenty of you to think of. Let's go.
There is. Let me see here. I've always liked a lot of the shit that State 48.
Ooh, Joel. Yeah. I like that. Joel Woolsey. I like that. He actually took the Celebrity Appearance Award for tonight.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
He was in the building. Shout out to Joel, man. What a choice. All right, here we go. Little word association. First thing to come to mind, milk.
Chocolate.
Freedom Breeder rack.
Got him. Love him.
Milk. Oh, wait, hold on. Cocoa.
Bedding.
Stuck shed.
Not enough humidity.
Ball python market.
It'll come back up. It'll come back up.
Instagram trolls.
Pains in the ass.
If you had to eliminate one Facebook page, is it going to be Python Regis or is it going to be the FBI report page? Which one needs to go?
Probably the Python Regis one. I think.
Yeah, that is a toxic page, bro. Listen,
it's bad.
I gotta say, man, we had well over 70 people tapped in for this beautiful Monday episode 280 with Doug Knacker, Hissy Fits. But guys, what do you have to say to all your supporters out there, bro? Let's hear it.
Hey, first of all, thank you guys all that's always supported me throughout the years, and all this shit, and continue to support me. And I look forward to you guys in the future and stuff. I look forward to you guys, maybe getting some stuff from me getting some stuff from you guys. And I love all you guys. Love the podcast, love everything.
Man, well, listen, I gotta say, all the love you've given me, Doug, I gotta say I appreciate, man. And this was a great episode. Probably well overdue. I think I should have brought you on a while ago, but either way, you're here. And I can tell you what, the next time you're on the show, it's gonna be a Thursday night, buddy.
Yeah.
You done graduated from the New Breeder on the Block series, and that's Doug Knacker, Hissy Fit Reptiles, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Doug. Have a good night, man.
Yeah, thanks, MJ. You guys are awesome.
Feel better, bro, please. And tell your wife I said thank you. She's a real one. I appreciate this.
Will do.
All right, brother. See ya. Woo! Guys, please head over to Instagram right now. Go give my boy Doug a follow. Hissy Fit Reptiles on Instagram. Don't sleep on this guy, man. What a fucking guy, man. Like, listen, if there's anybody out there who's been in this game and then leaves this game and is coming back as humble as he is, like, he ain't fucking asking for anything. He's just doing his thing. I gotta say, it was a great episode, man. So do me a favor, make sure you hit that like button. Okay, make sure you subscribe. I'm just shy, guys, literally just shy of 6,000 subscribers. So if you hit that subscribe button, it really means a lot to me. But what's happening this week? I could tell you what. Chapter 2 of 3 of the Trap Redemption episodes. That's right. Who? God damn it, man. Who's ready for this episode? By the way, this was not my original thumbnail at all for Donnie over at Nerd, but Donnie was like, "Hey MJ, do you really want viewers tapping in? Do you really want a big fucking, audience?" I said, "God damn it, yeah, I do, Donnie, because I have a lot for us to talk about. There's a lot of good topics." He's like, "Well, let me do the thumbnail." I'm like, "Okay." And this is his thumbnail. And man, he's pretty good at it. Because guess what? Why does everyone, not everyone, but why does all the animal YouTube creators hate Donnie Rapture over at Nerd? I'm not gonna lie, I hated this motherfucker at some point. I don't anymore. I can tell you that much. No, not at all. I'm actually really looking forward to this guy's fucking podcast going down this Thursday. And if it's one person who called it, that's Brian Cusco. Because Brian was on a podcast with me where I had some heavy feelings about Donnie. And I was going in doing typical MJ stuff. And he kind of stopped me and was like, "Hey, MJ, I think you'd be surprised on how much you and Donnie would kind of see eye to eye. I'm not here to say me and Donnie are like best friends and we're fucking going to be like, fucking reach around city." No, but I got to say that Cusco wasn't wrong. There are some visions of Donnie that I could kind of see eye to eye with. No problem. So either way, I think it's going to be a great episode. It's going to be a lot of stuff for me just to be like, okay, this is how I feel. Because it's all about feelings. People have feelings, but this is how I feel. And can we move on from it? Can we move forward? That's what it's all about. Guys, everyone they're entitled to their own feelings, man. Like, not everyone's here to get along. Not everyone's, here to be on the same page. If you really want to know where I'm coming from with this, Matthew Summers. Haven't seen the guy in the fucking live chat. By the way, Matthew Summers, I hope your fucking love life. I like Megan a lot, but I hope it's going great because I don't even know where you're at nowadays. I don't even talk to you anymore. But Matthew Summers, right? He's really not the one to stir shit up in our DMs. Like, we have a group chat, right? But this motherfucker hates Michael Jackson. He thinks Michael Jackson is the most like sicko, perverted person out there, which hold on. I got so much proof where you're wrong, buddy. But you know what that started a craze behind his feelings with Michael Jackson. Well, there's other homies in that group chat that have the same kind of feelings like he does. So guess what? All these people are coming at me for Michael Jackson. I was like, what? Don't fuck with MJ. Leave MJ alone. But no, there's people out there who really hate Michael Jackson. They really think that he did the weird thing to Macaulay Culkin. Macaulay Culkin would have spoken about it. So there's no proof. I am a diehard MJ fan, not because my initials are MJ, but I was raised off Michael Jackson. I know Michael Jackson is not what Matthew Summers says he is. But at the end of the day, am I going to hate Matthew Summers? No. Matthew Summers is my boy. That's my dog. He's still going to be fine with me on shows. Am I going to fucking suffocate him when he's sleeping? Yeah. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Okay. my next topic, right? So not only does he hate fucking Michael Jackson, he hates Christmas. I love Christmas. I'm the kind of guy, I'm not going to be fucking a wannabe like, oh, I love Halloween. I'm black. I'm dark. No, listen, motherfucker. That's very trendy. I feel like a lot of people who claim to love Halloween really does it because they think it's cool, and you fucking just got into techno. So shut the fuck up. I love Christmas. By the way, Matthew Summers really does love Halloween. He's really like metalhead, goth, dark, fucked up. No, he's not fucked up, but still, like you understand the differences I'm talking about. Like, even though me and Matthew seem like we're brothers and we're like no, there's opposites, okay? And we're boys still. I'm just saying we could still all be friends. We don't need to get along for us to like each other. Do we all like reptiles? Yes. Okay. So there you go. That's a huge one, right? If we all love reptiles, that's kind of what we should hold on to. We all love reptiles. If you only keep ball pythons and you're just a ball python breeder, I'm sorry, you're not. I don't mean that whole love reptile. You need to switch it up. You need to bump your shit up. I'm just like I said. Whew, man, guys, thank you so much. I had a great night. I hope you guys are ready. Like I said, it's gonna go down this Thursday. Fuck it, it's cracking off, bro. It's gonna crack the fuck off. Like, what are we gonna talk about? A lot of drama. But either way, thank you, Doug Knacker. Had an amazing show. Thank you to Mrs. Knacker for letting the big dog Doug come on the show tonight. Either way, please go give him a follow, and I'll catch you guys here Thursday, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Hey, go join the Trap Talk Patreon family tonight. I'll see you in the Discord, and I'm out. Cheers.